5 of the CrazyPs.
Hey! Well, guys, welcome. This is Crazy Peas episode 5. We've made it to episode fucking 5.
Oh, yeah.
Um, so, I'm Thomas Paxton.
Let me swallow. I'm. Shut up.
I
I'm
wasn't sure whether
hungry.
you said I'm a swallow or I'm a swallow.
Let me swallow my food. I'm hungry. It's been a long day.
Yeah, I know it has been a long day. What's funny is I've only been awake for like 12 hours because thereabouts because I've slept in a little later. Well, it's because I was up till like 8 in the morning this Saturday morning trying to basically I was getting my laptop set up to help you guys out with the podcast streaming because there are times where his sister, my wife, will be on the desktop for hours on end on like a Saturday or Sunday, and I myself am trying to get this stuff cut together much faster and not take forever in a day because the last three episodes were produced actually 2 weeks ago, and I'm just barely getting the episode four. No, three uploaded. Episode four is going to be cut together. I actually took episode four off of this computer and put it on my laptop yesterday, so that I could actually cut it together and get our bonus episode as well as the regular episode cut together. So you guys got some content coming your direction on YouTube and on Twitch. So awesome stuff. But yeah, fifth episode. This is the fifth episode in which we talk about same old, random bullshit, same old stuff. Also, life. Also, tonight before we even did this stream, we were playing. The reason why we're so late on it. Sorry about that, guys. So we normally try to start around 12, but it's like an hour and change after the fact. So you're looking at a slightly shorter episode today, but that's because of the fact that he gets tired and you know we can get we could keep going forever and ever, but sometimes it's shorter is best because then you wish for more later. But we were doing Phasmophobia, Phasmophobia stream, so you guys will have a nice little gaming stream coming in your direction. So while you may have lost a little bit of time on this episode, you'll get a whole lot more with Phasmophobia.
This
Tim,
week.
hey Tim, you want to tell us a little bit about Phasmophobia?
It was fun. I think the most fun I had was that in the first one we did when Nephi was having his technical issues. That's my younger brother. Well, our younger brother. But
Yeah.
what happened was he was having technical issues getting himself where we could hear him in the game, but we could hear him on my phone because we were in a phone call. The issue ended up becoming that, so he tried to fix that, and we just went into our first game of Phasmophobia. We had almost gotten the lady photographed, and I had one picture left. And then it got real weird in the house. I'm like, okay, whatever, being me, just whatever. And then I hear her coming up behind me, like everybody's seen on other people's streams or YouTube channels right before you die. You hear that noise, I'm like, shit, I'm out.
You're like,
And then it went away. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm still leaving though. And then right before I get to the door, it's right up here. I'm out.
It was pretty funny. I'm sitting here. I'm in the truck, right, and truck with with Amber, and we're both in there hanging out. I'm trying to go in there to go with the flashlight. She tells me to hang back, so I do. And then Tim's still inside. She's telling Tim to take a picture of the ghost girl, and so Tim starts to take a picture, and then he hears on his ear, and he's like, "Son of a bitch, I'm out! God damn, fuck it!" And I'm just like going, and I'm like calling the ghost. I'm pressing control, V to call the ghost because you say the ghost's name, and the ghost starts popping up. And so I just start saying the name repeatedly, and Tim's like, "Shut the fuck up! I'm getting out! Shut the fuck up! Stop it!" And we hear a. And then like that's the ghost like, and then like I go inside the house and I decided to go
Oh,
inside
that
out
was
because
so bullshit.
Tim comes in from outside the house, goes inside the truck. He's running and everything like that, running like a little bitch, and runs inside the house. And so I run like the, because I'm playing the black guy avatar, right? So I'm all like, the black guy did do that this time. So I go inside, I take the camera, and I'm like, the black guy's got to do this. And so I take the camera to position it, and I'm looking around, going, hello, Miss Miller, and I'm like trying to get her attention and stuff, and there was a part where like you heard like the light starts blinking a little bit, and so she was in attack, but she was in hunt mode. But I'm ahead of myself a little bit. So before then, I'm in the hallway. I'm going back to the kitchen area where they laid the book down, and they were trying to get her to actually write the book, but she never did. But she did put footprints in the salt and stuff. So we go back to the kitchen area, and she's sitting in the hallway, and she's standing there, and just standing there at a random nowhere, just standing there, and doing the whole like head twitch thing, like ghosts do, and I'm trying to take a picture, but the camera isn't even in my hand because I'm new to this game. This is my first ever hunt on this game, and so I don't even know how to get the camera out. So I've just got the flashlight. And I'm like, she's standing right there, and then my wife's like, take a picture. You're supposed to take a picture, and I'm just like going, I don't know how. And she's like, dude, seriously, you don't have to take a picture? And I'm like, no. And she's like, do it this way. So she tries directing me. So I finally get the camera out, but the ghost's gone. So a little later after that, Tim and Amber call the ghost and do the V thing. And then they're inside the truck. So this time it's me on the opposite end. And Tim's the one that's inside. And I'm going, son of a bitch. And he's like, he's all like, yeah, it's your turn, bitch. And then so we're inside. And then fucking the ghost pops up out of nowhere. And my flashlight starts blinking. And I'm like, I'm dead. Fuck, I'm dead. And then Tim's just like, ha ha. And so we're on the other side of the staircase. And so I hide like a little bitch. I hide, crouch down low. And I'm like, I'm gonna die. And then like out of nowhere she flashes up. I turn around and she's walking towards the front door. Her back's facing me. She doesn't even see me. And I go, tick, and I click a picture. And I'm just like, oh shit. And then like Amber's like, wait, she's gone down. I'm like, okay. She's like, get the fuck out of there. And I'm like, I'm trying. So I take the camera and I go run outside. And I'm like, oh my god, ah. And I'm just like going, I'm like
standing there. Because my avatar is sitting right behind him. I could see the picture he took from my character. So he's just like, you got a good picture.
Yeah. So you got her nice little ass. And so I go inside, and I'm all like walking into the truck, and I'm just like going, I'm screaming. I'm like,
and like, you were making fun of me.
Yeah, like heart's beating super fucking fast. And I'm just like, oh fuck, oh shit. And I get into the truck, and we're all standing there, and Amber's like, did you get the picture? Did you get this thing? And we're like, she's like doing her checklist of her stuff because it's her server she's hosting and stuff. And we're just like, yeah, we got this. So she's done this quite a few times, and she's like level 12. I'm like level 1. So
no,
like
you were level 2 when we ended.
Oh yeah, we did. I was level 2 by the time we ended it. So so I go in the truck. She's doing her little countdown, and we figure out that we got everything. And then after we go back to the base, we end up finding out there's like the giant like little mirror of like or the little wall gallery of different pictures that were taken, and then there's the ghost chick that's sitting on the wall, and we're like trying to like look at the gallery. Nephi pops up finally because he took him a minute to get into the game with us, but he pops in finally, and he's just like, wait, where is she? And we're like, right there. We're like pointing at the ghost chick.
Yeah, we all like walk up to the picture. This one.
They were like, this one. We were just like standing there, like our noses like out of it. We're like, this one right here. And he's like, I can't see. He's like, right here. I can't see it. Right here. I can't see it. Hey, DeFi, look up. And he for some reason he just never saw it. But like I took a picture of my phone, so I got it on my phone. But like
yeah, so did I.
Yeah, so like yeah. So that was Phasmophobia. We got to the first round. Second round wasn't really like it was fun. It was fun as hell. It's just we didn't get all the objectives.
Dude, that one kinda it half sucked because
yeah, it was kinda like
the ghost got real active. I literally thought I'd set down the cross to piss it off, so that way it couldn't attack me, but apparently I accidentally dropped it. I hit G instead of F, apparently. But I hit F perfectly and set down the book and said, alright, you write in the book, I'm going to go take a shit. I gotta go potty. And started walking around with my character, and I hear the little so I'm like, okay. Well, actually, I didn't hear that. First, I heard like it's stepping on the steps right behind me.
Yep.
Walk, 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 walk. Turn off flashlight so that way nobody can see me. Take a hard right to go into the corner. I don't hear anything walking behind me. Don't hear any noise. I'm like, okay. So I turn around to see if he's behind me, and I'm like, okay, I'm dead. What? You're dead? Yeah, no. That the fucker was right behind me. I turned around to see where he was after I turned off my flashlight. Didn't see him. I'm like, okay, I'm good. And then
Yep. He's like
I'm dead.
snaps his neck and everything, and we're just like, God damn it! And then Amber, of
I
course,
told
didn't
you guys you had
realize.
to go get my shit.
Yeah. Amber was funny is Amber didn't realize that what would happen because later on she was like, "Wait, is Tim dead?" We're like, "Yeah, he's been dead for like 20 minutes." And she's like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "We told you this like 20 minutes ago." She's like, "I'm sorry, I was doing this thing." And I'm like, "We know." And so me and Nephi run inside to go, try and check out the body and the source. I take a picture of the body for insurance, and then we're trying to sit there and track down the ghost, and the ghost just never shows up until like way later. And Nephi is just like standing there, and the ghost finally kills him. But this is like 45 minutes into me repeatedly saying his name over and over and over again.
Nephi just were saying his
We
name.
just kept going on. We were saying variations of things too, just to make him pissed off or whatever. And he just never showed up until like last minute, and finally decided to kill him. And Nephi just standing there, and he finally kills him. And Amber's like, "This is why this level's ass on amateur." And we're just like, okay, we've never played, like, we all have never played this game.
Yeah, it was new to us, but it was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. And like, what's funny is I didn't even realize you had to press Q to switch through your items in your inventory. So I'm sitting there walking around with what they call the cum stick, the thing that like has like you turn it on and you can see like little splotches on the walls and stuff.
Flashlight for
the flashlight. For like the
ghost
UV,
fingerprints,
the ghost fingerprints and stuff.
Yeah,
and so
the UV light.
I was holding that the entire fucking time, didn't realize it because I'm stupid. And like,
because you're new to the game.
Yeah,
you don't watch as much streamers and YouTubers as we do.
Amber's the only YouTuber that I've ever watched play it, and that's not even when she's YouTubing. She just was playing it one night, and it was like, this kind of reminds me of Supernatural, and she's like, yeah, it kind of does, and I'm like, we should do this one time. We should like.
And then if
I'll
I
play
just
it.
launched it to us, why don't we just stream it? It's like, okay, yeah, sure, sounds like a good
Yeah,
idea.
we're out of the Ogden Mountains and out in the canyon, and Nephi's just like, why don't we just play it? Like, why don't you just stream it? And I'm like, wait, we can. Like, I got my laptop and I got my other stuff, and then he's like, wait, so okay, so, but we don't own it, and I'm like, I got some extra or extra Christmas money for one of our relatives, and they're like, wait, you serious? I'm like, yeah, I'll just get it. And so I got it for them, so I get it to them. But like, yeah, we went ahead and got the game, and so we started streaming, and that was like 2 hours tonight, 2 hours and change.
Yeah, from like almost, it was like right around 10 to like midnight.
Yeah, yeah. It also started like we were trying to start around 9, but like it took a while to get everything situated and to get everything loaded up.
Technicalities and
Yeah,
blah, blah.
Dude, Twitch is one of the most annoying things to try and log in on when you're starting for the very first time, because they make you verify the fucking email at least 8 times when you're trying to log in. And when you're trying to log into OBS, and then OBS Twitch Studio, and then the Twitch Studios itself, you're trying to log into 3 other different things.
God,
it makes you put
ass.
in the same set of codes over and over, and then it alternates it. Like the Twitch code switches, and so every time you're like, you're like, email, code, email, code, and you're just like, how many fucking times do I have to log into my goddamn Twitch? And so, so that took me like 20 minutes just to get all that done. It was annoying. But like,
and plus, Nephi was having issues at his house. He couldn't even freaking load up the game after you sent it to him.
Yeah, like he was trying to load up the game after we sent it to him, and he was trying to get it all situated on the computer, and he couldn't even do that. Like it was hard.
That's because the signal for internet at that house sucks.
Yeah,
man.
so next time it's gonna be a lot faster getting into it, and next time we're gonna just jump right in, and it's gonna be a lot better. And I'm gonna be experimenting with it tomorrow a little bit, so I could kind of see if I could get my get like a version of like myself, like like you see me right here, and then like playing the game with the bigger window, like how they normally do it, and see if I can pull that off. Because when we the recordings we have is just us doing first person multiplayer type thing, where you see all our avatars running around, and then you hear us playing in the game, but you don't actually see us playing the game. So we're gonna have to figure out how to get that fixed, because we all have OBS.
Little faces up in the corner of the video.
Yeah.
I'm still working on that because I don't even know how to fully use OBS. So once I figure out how to use OBS fully, I'll be like, I got this.
Yes, we just admitted to not being streaming masters, okay? We just admitted to learning as we go, and that's what we're doing.
Well, we're only on episode 5. We don't have it down 100%. I mean,
Yep.
they see it because I don't have a laptop, so I can't do the whole green screen behind me and, set it up right here, set it over there with my Twitch for our podcast because I like doing that. But I mean, if we did it, we'd have the same green screen background, but I'd have my laptop over here with the computer sitting here, and we just do it from both points of view.
Do you know how fun it was though? Like watching all that footage. Like I was watching all the YouTube
Yeah,
footage.
he rewatched
and
it.
I rewatched. I was playing it back before we left to go get drinks, and I was playing it back, and Tim's standing by the door, and he's laughing his ass off at the part because I got to the part where he's screaming and stuff. He's like, "Ah, I can't walk away from me," and we're like watching it, and it's hilarious. Like the only thing really missing,
it's a great comedy.
like only thing missing really is that visual aspect of like seeing this game. Whereas all you basically it's just us playing the game, and then you hear us talking. That's really the only thing that's there, but without that visual quality of us playing the game, it's still fun to watch. So it's gonna be fun putting that on YouTube for you guys and on Twitch.
Yeah.
What we're gonna try to do is we're gonna try to have it to where we cut it. One of us cuts it, probably me. Cuts it together and like.
Hey, that's what you like to do.
Yeah. And like
that's not
cuts,
my department.
Cuts like every like he's gonna try and send me his, and then Amber's gonna try and send me hers, and then we're gonna all kind of try and compile it together. And that way you'll have like different intercuts of like all of our different games played on all our different point of views, so that you can also hear the audio in tune with it, and so it's all synchronized. That's gonna take a while, but we're gonna first upload all the regular ones, and then I'll try and play with that later. But yeah, that's what we're trying to do. We're playing with that idea.
Talking about me screaming my damn ass off. Yeah, we talk about that. Then there should be a cut screen of me actually screaming, a little bit of clip of me doing that for the YouTube video, and then on with the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's the plan. Even though I'm telling y'all about it, it'll be more funny when we're done editing it.
Okay, no, and this, by the way, the audio of this, we were talking about this today on the trip today. The audio of all these episodes, I'm going to be putting them on Spotify. And I'm going to be putting them in other audio. So I'm going to strip the audio from the video, and you're going to basically be listening to the podcast. You won't just have to watch it on like Twitch or whatever. So if you hate Twitch, then you get to have a treat of being able to have it played elsewhere as well. So you'll have YouTube, you'll have Twitch. I'm going to be trying to put it on other platforms. The whole point
I'll try to figure out how to do it on the iOS, the Apple phone, the podcast app.
Yeah,
because I know there's a easy way to do it on that too.
Yeah, we're gonna try to get this to where it's multi-platform availability and not just on Twitch. Right now you have the first few episodes from Tim on his Twitch, which is just the green screen and us talking and stuff, which is fine. They're also gonna get the full visual quality aspect of the green screen with the picture with us on my channel on YouTube. And then after that, we're going to try and get it to multiple different platforms. Because the whole plan of this is just us shooting the shit, having fun, which is what we established from the very first podcast, first episode.
Right.
And it's just us shooting the shit, talking about stuff. And we're going to try and keep it interesting every single episode for you. But, yeah, what else do we want to talk about?
I just want to talk about the picture on that green screen right now. I love it.
Oh, yeah? You like the Dragon Ball Z with
the
Grogu?
random one we found?
Yeah, the Grogu Frieza.
Yes.
I really like it because it's like every single episode.
If I move my head.
Yeah, you actually see it.
He's trying to kill me.
Yeah, you actually see it. Like watches he's the new Elizabeth Miller. He's like, damn. So like yeah. So no, I actually like this picture a lot. I'm gonna have to find where I got the picture again and link the credited artist in the product description because. People are going to get crazy about that and be like, they didn't credit the artist. We are.
We're going to. It'll be put in the YouTube video descriptions.
Yeah, it'll be put
I haven't quite figured out how to do some of that stuff on Twitch yet through my phone, so that's why I got to save up money for a couple of months and get a laptop so that way we can do it on mine, too.
Yeah. One other thing recently that actually came up was that, yesterday or day before yesterday, me and my buddy Alan are going to be writing a spin-off sequel story to the Shadowfig story in which his character Howlett Fang is on this planet called Serenity, Which is funny because I hope it's not a Firefly thing. Too much of a Firefly thing. But I absolutely love.
When you get
I absolutely love Firefly, the TV show, and the fact that they had a movie and everything for it for Joss Whedon.
The movie was a little bit better than the TV show, personally.
I don't.
Well, that's also your generation. When you grew up, I mean, when I grew up, if I remember correctly, the movie came out for the TV show, and I'm like, okay, cool.
Do you know why I don't?
No.
The reason why I don't, and I'll go into it, is because Firefly is a space western, right?
Yeah.
And it's basically a ragtag of individuals who are walking around and they're doing jobs. They're mercenaries and they're doing jobs for hire. And you have this established notion of how all the cast is on the show. You have like these certain colorations for each frame. You got like it's got like a dirty type aspect to it. Things are grimy. Things are dirty. Things are worn. Things are it's very Western like with the quality. It's not just the sci-fi.
No, I agree with you on that.
And like the costumes and everything, it's not sleek when it comes to the camera angles and things like that. When they go to different planets, it's very almost Star Warsy. Without being Star Warsy, without being sleek and glossy. The Serenity movie completely changes all that. Like the costumes are different. The direction of the camera is different. Like Joss, for some reason, when he did the movie, the studio must have interfered somehow. But when they did the movie, they compressed the story arc of the girl that's in Firefly in the Serenity story, and her story was to take place over the course of an entire season, and they compressed it to being this weird zombie aspect of the story. And so she's like trying to she's swinging her axes around and killing these little zombie creatures, and she finds out about her genome and her DNA, and she's like superpowered and stuff. They turn into this weird superhero zombie western flick in which the series itself was a western space western, and there was like a comedy aspect to it. Whereas the movie, there was comedy aspect kind of, but it was more of a drama, and like they sort of robbed it. So it was like
I kind of grew up with westerns.
Yeah,
I got burnt out on them when I was a little kid because Russell and his dad.
Russell and those guys, yeah, I could see that. But the reason why I'm looking at it from like a creative standpoint of like what I know the show
I
as.
get that, but
and
I'm saying for me, it just when you get fizzled out with that stuff because you watch, what the hell's the guy's name? Whatever, the famous Western guy's name that most people know.
John Wayne.
Yeah. Him. And well, there's a couple others, but he's the biggest one.
I'm not his fan really, so I only know his name because your dad, like Russell, kept going on and on about fucking John Wayne.
But the thing is, I grew up with that sort of stuff, so it's like, okay, I'm done with the westerns. Can we do something?
Character Dean on Supernatural absolutely love John Wayne, but I don't. He likes all the different western characters. While he is a character, but like probably because one of the writers, the producers, was like that. But yeah, it's like Serenity is this weird like movie that is like a sequel. Like it's basically I tried to watch it, which is probably the wrong thing to do. I tried to watch it as like a sequel to episodes to the previous first season, and so I saw it as like a sequel storyline, even though like it basically operates on its own while still being a sequelizing Firefly.
It doesn't fit in with the TV
it really does not.
It is its own entity.
Yeah, it really does not, because they introduced her character in the last few episodes of the first season, and then what they did was they canceled the show, and then they redid, like, they basically sequelized it with the movie. And, like, so for me, the Serenity movie just, it rubbed me wrong overall. And I liked the show a lot better. Like, I wish that they kept the show going and didn't,
the show didn't click
Fox,
with me, so I didn't watch it.
Fox canceled everything, but it was on Fox for, like, a long time, or for, like, a season, and then they canceled it.
Fox did that with, what was the series? Terra Nova.
Yeah.
Which was complete bullshit because they left it on a cliffhanger, which was perfect for the second season. They did the same thing with, Alcatraz.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, what the fuck is wrong with you people at Fox? I mean, if you're gonna go in for one season, and just one season,
yeah,
that's kind of bullshit because you're getting people hooked because there's certain people who like the show. Well, you're not like us, you're not this, you're not. Shut up. Everybody likes something different, and if you have one show for every different genre, you're gonna have people who will pay for the bills. Why? Because they see all your commercials and buy all the shit.
Yeah.
Which means you still get paid. Shut up. It doesn't matter if you like it. Just run the damn show.
Yeah, you know which show I actually watched recently? I watched the first episode yesterday. Got about halfway to the second episode, and I got really distracted by all this stuff on my computer because I was getting it loaded up.
WandaVision?
Yeah, I watched that one. I watched the first episode. Got
I
like
watched
halfway
the
to the
first
second.
episode, and I'm like,
Yeah, what'd you think of it?
kind of fucking weird.
Since we both have actually seen the first episode, what'd you think of it?
I watched it. Was it earlier today or yesterday? I think it was last night.
Okay.
Actually, it was yesterday before I came over.
Yeah.
Well, before I went and did other stuff first, but odd, because the Wanda character from the comic books, oh whatever, don't know what I'm doing. Well, it's this thing, so they know I'm over here.
Yeah, remember the camera's over here. I have to remember that all the time now. Like, even though like my hand is clearly on the right of me, on the camera it's on the left, and I'm like,
this is not the universe you are used to. This is the reverse verse.
Right? It's like all inverted. Like I go, cameraman, let's press the start menu. Let's go to camera controls, inverted, invert camera. Nope, not working.
No, it's what is the new one? It's mirror.
Right.
So that way, even when you freaking put it on YouTube, I mean, because half the time it's recorded backwards. But I know even if you mirror it when you upload it or whatever to YouTube, sometimes they auto flip it too. It's like, what the fuck's the point of editing it on my end, you a-hole, if you're just gonna with it more? But that's my personal. But the Wanda thing, it was all weird because her falling in love with Vision.
Yeah.
No, that made sense.
It's like
I didn't exactly like the way they brought her and the brother in.
Oh, you mean
the,
an
like,
Age of
thing?
Ultron thing?
Yeah.
The second movie?
I didn't like that because it wasn't true 100% to the characters because
They're
Wanda
mutants.
and
Mutants.
What's the, is it Starfire? No,
Starfire, that's DC.
No, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, got the wrong name. No, Wanda and the brother. What the fuck is the brother's goddamn name?
You mean?
I know it was Superpower, huh?
You mean
Wanda's brother, the speedster.
I know you're talking about. I'm just my brain. Hold on.
You're drawing a blank too.
Yeah, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver.
Thank you. They're brother and sister.
Yeah.
And they say that in the Avengers way they bring him in. But the bad part is, no, we changed them. No, they're mutants. Their dad is Magneto.
Yeah.
The guy, if he actually tapped into his power fully, or actually knew how to use his power properly, could destroy the world in one freaking fell sniff or fart.
Yeah.
But he doesn't, because he's an idiot and doesn't know or never learned properly, because he's always angry at the humans.
Not only
But the thing is,
mentioned they had him in like one movie for Marvel, but they had him in all those other movies for X-Men. They had two completely different Quicksilvers. Two completely different Quicksilvers.
oh yeah.
You didn't see that coming.
Yeah. Well,
that was his dialogue line.
Even the ones with the X-Men universe, which isn't in the Marvel universe, it's like whatever, because they're supposed to be writing them in the next Avengers movie or a couple down the road.
Yeah.
But it doesn't keep true to her character, Wanda. Scarlet Witch. It doesn't keep true to her character, as in, no, we're going to blend into black and white, old school America. No. That's not true to her character. I don't remember who it was that I was just scrolling through some stuff on social media. It's like, I hate episode 1 and 2. I'm like, I didn't even watch episode 2, so if you're gonna say anything, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Because I was about to change it, like, I didn't like how it didn't keep to the character. Okay, that's your opinion. I agree, it didn't keep to the character. Interesting show. Odd as fuck. But I might watch episode 2 to see what the fuck.
Yeah.
And the only complaint the person actually made was, it's BS, it's only gonna be a 20 episode freaking blah blah. It's like, okay, now you're just
20
bitching.
episodes.
Yeah, supposedly they're only gonna do one season. It's not even full season. It's like a miniseries.
Okay,
It's
as
like,
long as it fits.
so if it's fun to watch, watch it. Okay, it's not exactly what it's supposed to be because anybody who's a diehard
Well,
fan
you
for that
know where
character
the
is gonna go.
story's gonna go, right?
Eh,
This whole WandaVision thing, at least
it's
from what they're
supposed to
pitching,
be
it's
in between.
the bridge
Yeah.
between current Marvel, which is Endgame. So this is literally the sequel of like Endgame to Doctor Strange into the multiverse.
Yeah, that's
Or
what I heard.
what multiverse of madness.
Yes.
It's supposed to be the sequel. It's supposed to be the prequel to Multiverse of Madness. It's supposed
Well,
to
it's
lead
supposed
into
to how
it.
they interweave it all.
Yeah. So this is supposed to be the precursor to the new phase, new age. This is literally the new age of Marvel. And
Which is where they're gonna bring in the mutants and other shit.
so okay,
Supposedly.
so these are some of my thoughts on it. I'll get back to you in a second, but like these are some of my thoughts on it.
Go for it. I gave my.
This whole I watched episode 2, like part of episode 2. I got halfway through it.
I haven't gotten there yet.
From what I understand, these episodes are very bite-sized. They're not like full on like character has changed dynamically by the end of the episode. This is more like sitcom style. And like the first episode's kind of like one of the older sitcoms. Second episode was more like, second episode was kind of like was like very much like Bewitched, whereas the first episode was kind of like Bewitched but kind of like Brady Bunch. And
I see your viewpoint there.
yeah, so like it's kind of like, they're taking different eras of sitcoms and then putting the tone of that into each episode. And the first episode was kind of like that because we spend a lot of the episode. I'm not gonna spoil too much, but like unless we don't care. But it's on the internet, so you can find it on Disney Plus. By the way, but
there's so many spoilers already out. I mean,
yeah. So whatever. But like basically, the whole point of it is that we spend a lot of the episode with Wanda and Vision talking about this date, May 23rd, which I believe was the day that they either started going out or the day that he was created. But like there was something to do with the it's a connection to the Marvel movies, the Avengers movies. But like there were so many of them too. There's so many different nods, references, like Sokovia, or the Sokovia thing, and I'm like Sokovia Accords, and like there was like so many different references, and so. But like basically the whole point of it is the first episode's storyline was that Wanda and Vision are living in this place by themselves, and it's a place that we've never even seen or heard of, and it's in black and white. And so obviously something about it is amiss. But they're
from the 50s.
Yes, they're in this place that's probably made up. It's probably in her head somehow. That's the feeling I got from it. In fact, from the trailers that I was watching, I was like, this has got to be in her head. But like, there's a part where Vision's at work, or at least he's at his job, this job that he's at. This pretend job, essentially. You could tell it's pretend too, with the way everybody acts with each other, and with the way the tone is.
Him, like asking, what the hell do we exactly do here?
Right, like he's sitting there, he's literally
count numbers.
Yeah.
We can be more productive in doing what?
It was essentially it was like Office Space moment where it's like wait, what are we doing here? TPS reports.
Why?
Let's do the TPS reports. Wait, why? Just because. Do the TPS reports. If you could do the TPS reports, that would be great. Like that's the that's the feeling vibe I got from it a little bit, was that like a sitcom version of Office Space. But like he's sitting there in the office and he's talking to them and they're like telling him to do the reports and stuff. He drops like this fat ass stack of fucking reports. He just like this fat ass stack like this. He drops on the guy's desk and he's just like, here you go. And he's like, I never exaggerate. And then like he goes into the thing and then they're talking to him and they're like, wait, are you a robot? He's like, no, I am not a robot. I will never have ever been a robot. He's like trying really hard to cover up the fact that he's
I'm a
android.
carbon-based organism just like you, and he said a couple other things.
Yeah, he's like over the top on it, and so super literal, but like, which is exactly what he is. Like he's an AI. By the way. And so we're sitting there and we're watching this, or I'm watching this, and I'm like watching them go from being in the apartment area to being told by his boss that in order to get his promotion, he has to cook a full meal. And then when he's like, wait, what if I don't do that? And then he points over at the coworker who's walking outside of his office, and the coworker's carrying a box worth of stuff, which means he got fired, or at least got demoted. And so they go back to the apartment, and he's trying to get Wanda to cook the full course meal, and Wanda is visited by a family, a neighborhood friend, and the neighborhood friend is trying to get her to cook, trying to give her ideas for the meals and stuff, and then being really forward and being like, you know, you could totally put the lobster, and like she's making jokes and stuff about where you could put the food, innuendos and shit like that, and so. It's like this whole normal sitcom-y type feeling where like there's obviously, you know, there's gags and there's like little references where with the laugh track, and they're trying to make the food, and really she could just do this and like, you know, fix it, but she doesn't because they're trying to apparently hide the fact that, you know, she's got powers, and he's trying to hide the fact that he's an android from these people for whatever reason. And they spend the entire episode trying to make the meal, and then of course there's the last gag at the end where they're opening the door to let the people out, and the lobster's on the freaking door. But like during this meal, they're sitting there doing this, and the guys, the girl, the couple, the boss and his wife, are literally asking her questions like, where did you guys meet? Where did you guys get married? Where's this? Where's that? And I'm like, sitting there, I'm like, why is this important to the job? And then like I was like,
that's not the part that caught me. The part that caught me was where, when, and they both look at each other like, how the fuck do we answer that? Because we don't have an answer.
Right, and so
you don't know when you were married.
And the reason why I asked in that rapid fire, because that's kind of how they asked it. But like at that point, I sat there and I was like, yep, something's amiss here. Like, why would they be asking that question? Why would they be so forceful about it? So, so she finally tells him, and she's like, Vision, save him, because he starts choking on food, and he's like repeatedly choking, and the wife's just like, stop it, stop it, stop it. Like, not even like a whole like, oh my god, save him, oh my god, he's choking, oh my god, call 911. No, so she's just like, stop it. Stop it. Like her husband's like playing a joke or something. Stop it.
Quit joking around.
Quit joking around. You're not gonna die. You know better. And then like, he falls over on the ground, and then Wanda finally snaps out of her like dazed off in a space glance, because she's like,
what the fuck?
Something's going on here. Like, why are they asking me all these questions? And then and like, you know, it's the normal Scarlet Witch face that she gets in the movies. And so she finally goes, Vision, save him. And so he goes over, he reaches inside the guy's neck, pulls out the food that he was choking on, and then he suddenly gets up, and he's like, well, we must be going now. And then like they start walking out the door. He's like, and he shakes his hand. He's like, you know, it would be so great. I'll see you tomorrow in the office, and we'll have you talk to you about that promotion tomorrow. And then they start walking. He's like, okay, this is suddenly random. And then they start walking out the door, and the lobster's on the door. And the whole time I'm also like watching this, I'm like, something about fucked up's about to happen, isn't it? And then like we get to the end and we find out that someone's watching them on a computer. Like there's an entire computer thing, like a setup. It's like Shield or something, and they're like monitoring her. So something's going on, and that's the first episode. So my thoughts on Scarlet Witch, the first episode, is Tim didn't like it apparently, or at least kind of liked it, but I was fine with it.
The show, I didn't like the way they did the characters, because it didn't seem to fit in my mind how the characters would actually act.
Well, duh. It's a sitcom. And like, it's
probably... okay, it's something fun to watch.
You know why I think that is, though?
Huh.
It's a theory. Is because of the fact that it wasn't in the middle of a show, like a season. Like, you know, like those one-off episodes where, like, it's like a sitcom or, like, some sort of goofy thing where, like, it's one episode. Because this is going to be an entire series, the tone of it clashes with the rest of the original MCU. And so it goes against it. But it's goofy. It's goofy.
No, it's completely
like,
goofy.
Purposely goofy. That's what my theory is.
It makes me think of... I can't remember the name of the show. Back in the mid to late 80s, and I think they stopped it before we hit the 90s, but it was an episode about how this guy shows up, he's from outer space, and this family takes him in somehow, but yet they're trying to keep him secret that he's an alien.
Yeah.
And it's like, why would you bring an alien to your house? Just watch the goofy shit that happens, because the alien doesn't understand anything about humanity. It's like, okay, let's see. And one of the things, or one of the episodes that always made me haha that I liked, which is the only reason I remember the series, is the kid's having trouble studying for a test or something that's going on that week in school. The guy's like, what are you talking about? Just stick it in your I can't remember what the heck he called the freaking orifice, but he basically shoved it in his ear and it came out his other ear. I got the whole book in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Dude, if we could do that, we would do that and we wouldn't need to go to school.
Are
Okay.
you jealous?
I know everything. Jealous? No, that'd be an awesome skill. I am immortal.
Oh shit.
I know physics. Kiss my
So,
ass.
Mark Shackman directed the episode, and he's of Game of Thrones fame.
That makes sense.
So, as far as the technical stuff on the episode, Game of Thrones guy. But yeah, no, I actually myself, I had fun watching it. I wasn't really watching it to take it seriously, really, because I was more mild curiosity of being like, wonder what the fuck this show's gonna be about. And so it's kind of like interesting seeing, Wanda and Vision in like this entirely different show for that's literally them. It's their show, and like if you're someone who's been wanting to watch something that's a little different from the normal MCU, this is for you. If you're someone who like loves Wanda and Vision and you want nothing more than Wanda and Vision, chances are this is exactly what it is, what you were probably wanting to watch because of the fact that it's literally them. I don't know if any other characters are going to cameo. I don't know if they're going to get any random cameos from any other Marvel stars. They may do it. I mean, it's Disney Plus and it's Marvel, so it's literally the same studio. So there's a chance you're going to get a cameo or two.
Disney owns everything.
Yeah, so, but yeah, like, I dug it. I had fun with it. I didn't take it that seriously overall, even though I normally take a lot of things from Marvel seriously, because I absolutely love Marvel and love the MCU. I mean, anytime I talk about writing any of the stories, and I've probably said on here a couple times, that I'm essentially trying to create my own MCU with my own stories, which is why I also was talking about the Howlett Fang story. But overall, I'd say that rewatchability, I don't know, because I haven't watched the first episode all over again. But fun show, sure. I had fun watching it the first time. The second episode, I got halfway through it, and then of course I got distracted. But so it didn't pull me in per se. Like it isn't like grabbing my attention and like wrestling it down.
You have to watch
like it isn't latching onto me and being like, "Watch me, bitch." Like it isn't doing that. But like Mandalorian is a total different story. Mandalorian is amazing.
You must know what's going on.
Yes, you are drawn
in.
in.
Next week. You better be there.
Yeah, you are drawn in. You must watch it. You must fucking stand at attention, motherfucker.
Did too. It's like, nah, you gotta find out what's gonna happen. You better show up next week.
Yeah, no, it's seriously.
Any good show does that.
Yeah, so I would say WandaVision, I would say is moderately decent. I would say it could have been better. They probably could have done some other things in the episode to make it more interesting. They probably could have...
Give it a 50-50.
Yeah, they probably could have fleshed out the other characters, like made it more, like, dramatic a bit with, like, the suspense. Because if she really is inside of some simulation, like they were teasing at the very end of the first episode, then they really could go more into, like, how that's affecting her inside the simulation and, like, the tension that's being built. But aside from that, like...
Well...
I can see why they're doing the goofy sitcom
My thought on that part.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a simulation. I think it's, like you were saying, S.H.I.E.L.D.
You think they're interrogating her?
No, I think they're watching her because it showed that her... I don't remember what movie it was. I think it was like at the end or at the beginning. The way it showed it with her and Vision. They're trying to fit in and we're not different. We're just going to blend in.
That was Infinity War, the first one.
Yeah, but, I mean, it's the thing of her power. She can basically create anything she wants. So all she has to do is, I'm going to create a bubble universe. We're going to live like we're in an old 50s TV show sitcom like Dick Van Dyke and shit. Because that's kind of what it reminded me of, a little bit of Dick Van Dyke. The wife and the husband are doing stuff, so that way the boss likes the husband and he gets the promotion.
Yeah.
It takes me back to Dick Van Dyke and shows like that from when I was a little kid that I watched on Nick at Night.
Yeah.
Because I love those shows. But, I mean, that's where I went, so I think it's like she created a bubble universe so they can hide since they were having trouble fitting in with normal people of where they actually are when they got together.
Yeah, it's funny. They, like, interacted slightly better with these normal people that are in her head or that are somewhere in this thing, whatever it is.
Alternate universe, whatnot. Yeah,
whatever it is. They interacted better with these people than they did with people from the Avengers team. Like, but Vision did the Vision thing.
Though. It's the she because they don't she created this bubble universe or whatnot to hold them in.
Yeah.
So that way they don't have to worry about being found out, because technically it's not real people. It's all made up. She's basically made her own universe. She is God, goddess, whatever technicalities. And the only reason S.H.I.E.L.D. is watching to see if, because she's using her powers, is she going to use them too much and overdo stuff and then become something they can't rely on?
Yeah, it would be kind of
Like
interesting
they
to see.
relied on her with
Avengers.
Ultron
Yeah.
going all, and then they help the Avengers.
Yeah.
So is it gonna go the exact opposite direction, where she's actually become so enveloped in her own universe she forgets that she's the god of it, or is she just going to try to? No, we're just normal. We're just nothing, and
Do you know my theory?
completely like forget her powers and just become a normal human.
Do you remember House of M?
Which one?
House of M.
I don't think I watched that one.
The original mutant storyline with Scarlet Witch was the House of M, where Magneto and all these other characters from the Brotherhood were part of her storyline, were part of her mental break storyline.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no.
Now, while they're not going to bring
about.
Magneto into it, likelihood, unless they do, because that may be where they're going with this. Because Fox, the X-Men rights reverted back to Marvel, and they said that they're going to use them eventually. So I don't know if this is where it's going, because it's 2021. I don't know if this is where it's going, or if they are going to later on integrate that in a future story arc, and this is just the bridge. This really seems like it's like the bridge to a lot of stuff that's going on in Marvel.
More into the Disney Plus with the Marvel stuff.
Yeah, because this is literally Disney Plus's first ever venture with post Endgame, and so I'm wondering if they're gonna do the House of M, and this is gonna be like the beginning. Because my dad was trying to tell me that it was like gonna be 8 episodes. You said 20, so that's two completely different sets of numbers here.
That's what I heard from somebody who's like, yeah, well, what they said to the people who they want to review the episodes, sort of thing. It's only supposed to be 20 episodes, which is kind of bullshit, because that's like one season.
I'm hoping for 20 episodes rather than 8, because with the way the first 2 episodes are, if the first 2 episodes progression is the way it is, it's going to be really fucking slow, and it won't be as rewatchable. So I'm hoping that it's going to be 20, because then that would lead us to far better territory with story arc-wise. Yeah. And, but yeah, no, I think that WandaVision was a very interesting beginning to this new show that they're doing. And I hope, and also one fun fact. I was going to go into this a little bit earlier. The guy who plays Quicksilver, by the way, in Marvel, is Kick-Ass. And the guy who plays Quicksilver in X-Men, like Days of Futures Past and those other ones, he's also from Kick-Ass. It's the best friend of Kick-Ass. Is in both. Both guys are in 2 different universes. I just had to point that out.
But the same character.
Yeah, same character.
No, I saw that.
So
I like Kick-Ass. That's actually a pretty good movie.
Yeah, one of my favorite movies in all of creation. That Matthew Vaughn, who also is of First Class, X-Men First Class, that movie. He directed that movie. He's also the director of Kick-Ass. So that was pretty cool that he casted the other guy, Evan, as his Quicksilver, whereas Joss Whedon took Kick-Ass. As her brother. But it's funny because the reason why I think that there could have been some drama and suspense though. Where was Wanda in Age of Ultron?
In
the first story that she appeared in full feature, not just like the very last end credit scene.
Well, wasn't she in whatever that country is?
Yeah, she was in Sokovia, and she was with her brother and everything. But then her brother gets shot and killed.
Metal whatever.
Yes.
Thing, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Freeze on us.
Yep. Give me a moment. Hold on. I'm fixing it.
Oh, you good? All right.
There we are. But I'll just put the loading sign on it again.
Well, but see, that's the funny part. It's always around this time.
Yeah, right around that time.
Around 2:11, 2:15, this happens.
But
anywho, I remember the first time I saw her and the brother, I think they were in some sort of warehouse and they found them, and they tried to defend themselves or something because they thought that whoever it was, I can't remember. Sorry, brain's kind of fuzzy on that shit because I haven't watched the movies in a while. Who found them was part of like the government or something that was gonna try to stop them from keeping all the people safe in their town or whatever it was.
Yeah, they were being holed up and experimented on, and
That's what
then
it was.
then they broke out. Same team that was going hunting against Iron Man, in fact, and it was
That's right.
Iron Man was creating Ultron,
Didn't even
and
know it, dumbass.
didn't even know it. And then and then the bad guy of that movie, that was the side bad guy, the Claw.
Yeah.
He has them trapped. I believe I have that storyline right. He has them trapped, and then the guy who infiltrated in Civil War, he is working with Claw to try to destroy the Avengers, which leads to Civil War. And what happens is they break free, and then they're on the run, and then they try to go after the Avengers because
They think.
their parents were killed by Iron Man, indirectly, and with him trying to create Ultron and try to protect the world, and then creating this giant bad guy, it ends up causing entire domino effect, and so Ultron convinces them to go face off with the Avengers, and then the Avengers and them clash, and then they finally become allies.
I didn't like the way they did Ultron because it was supposed to be um Ant-Man
Yeah,
is the one who accidentally made Ultron.
whereas Paul Rudd's Ant-Man is more of like a goofy butt.
He's an idiot.
He's
He
a goofy
doesn't have
butt
a
thief.
brain like the freaking Ant-Man who made the stuff himself.
Oh yeah, the original Ant-Man's kind of a douche. Because you got Ant-Man, you got Doctor Strange, and then you got Tony Stark. They were all prime douches, and
But in their own way.
they were all Captain
But
Douche.
the way they did Ant-Man for the MCU, I didn't like because I liked the one they did in the cartoon series for the Avengers here. Oh, what was it? 10 years ago? 15 years ago now?
I need to
When
rewatch
they
all these movies.
Well, it was in the house. I think me and Trisha were in the apartment before
Yeah.
we moved to down home. That was just one of those shows. It was Disney. The kids had gone to school or whatever. And I was like, whatever. Just leave the TV on. I don't care right now. I got a headache. And that showed up, and I'm like, hey, look. I know these guys. Marvel's Universe. What the fuck's going on? Let's see what the hell this show's about. But, I mean, the way they went into it, how he's building the basically robot army to help them do stuff, and then because he's trying to make them have the same type of brain like humans, but because they don't have the emotional tiebacks we have, they can actually do stuff as fast as our brains should do it.
Yeah.
If we didn't have all the holdbacks and all the emotional and mental issues that we give ourselves on half of it, and the other half is because of environmental that we end up creating to protect ourselves.
Yeah.
And because of that, he ends up making Ultron.
Yep.
But the way they changed it, where it had to do with what the fuck's the cube's name? The consciousness in the freaking cube. And I'm like, that's kind of half-assed, because if that's supposed to be a Infinity Stone, how the hell has it got its own consciousness? That means every Infinity Stone has its own consciousness.
Jarvis.
Which brings up its own freaking...
Do you remember that Vision is Jarvis?
Yeah.
So what they did was they combined the cube, and then they put the cube inside of the body that they were trying to take for Ultron. Ultron was trying to take the body, trying to use the body to become a better body, and instead the Avengers got the body, like Thor powered up the body, and then the cube got put into the body and created Jarvis. Because Jarvis's AI got programmed into the body. That's how Vision got created.
Yeah, because Vision is the Ultron process, but
and then Ultron tried to use Vision's body, and it didn't work because Vision said no.
Yeah, because no, not like you. I do have emotions.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's also not where the original from.
They adapted it.
Yeah. And some of it I liked. Some of it it's like, dude, you just fucked up fucking Ultron 1. I mean, they didn't do half bad, but really, the way you brought him to life,
But they killed off her brother. They gunned him down, and then
that's kind of bullshit.
And then after they gunned him down, after that, during the story with Infinity War, Vision gets killed. He gets, well, at least he gets deprogrammed, and so they steal the stone out of his head, and so so after that happens, Wanda is dealing with double trauma at that point, cause within the space of like 2-3 years, which I've dealt with that. And so when I was watching this episode, I was like, wait a minute, Wanda's been through like a lot of trauma recently, and now she's like inside this thing, like simulation, whatever the hell it is, that they haven't really explained, and I'm waiting for an emotional mental break. I'm waiting for that. And so when I watched the sitcom thing, they started to kind of get there because they were showing the fact that she was having some sort of awareness of the fact there was something off going on, but they haven't quite got there yet. So that's why I'm like wondering if this is gonna be an 8-episode thing. Because if it is, that needs to happen by like episode 3 or 4. But which means the next week's episode. But like if not, then if it's going to be 20 episodes, at least it gives time to flesh that out, but it also gives time for them to give filler episodes. So that's why I was thinking that like it could be a suspense type feel or tone, because she's dealing with trauma and she could easily go through a mental break. And then they would show that. Like they show that evolution of her character, like her storyline. But like that's kind of what I was talking about.
Okay.
So, but like, yeah.
I know I go off from weird tangents.
No, you're good.
Comics.
No, you're good. Like that's what we're doing. Is we're just talking about random stuff, right?
Well, because I remember growing up, and in the mid-90s, they came out with X-Men, Superman, Spider-Man, Batman, and there was one or two other cartoons. But I grew up with Thundercats and He-Man.
Yeah.
And going into the comic books, I'm like, okay, I know these guys from other stuff, but let's see what the heck the cartoons are about. And when X-Men came around, I'm like, okay, I like Wolverine. Fuck the rest of you, bunch of bitches. And he's always been the one I attached to. So I started going, and what was it? Like 2 years after I started getting into DC and Marvel, I got... Actually, I still have them somewhere at my house in a box, hidden. I don't even remember where. Probably in my garage. But it's like the first episode of the original Batman.
Yeah.
And you got the comic book, like the one you're supposed to be reading what the picture would be, but they shrunk it, and you got all the bad guys standing around it. Oh, the origins of Batman. Let's figure out who he is. Maybe we can kill him and shit. And I'm like, okay. I read it, and I'm like, okay, I like this. I like comic books. Okay. And then I started getting into it, watching some of the shows, looking at some of the comics. Because I was never real big on it, because I didn't have the money to buy it at the time, even with being a little kid and mowing lawns on Saturdays.
Yeah.
I had a few bucks, but I always spent that on getting myself what I needed or what I thought I needed at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Which was usually clothes or I'm hungry, I'm going to spend money on food. But, I mean, I've always been into the DC, Marvel, what's the ones that did Watchmen?
You mean Warner Brothers?
Well, no.
Well, they're
the comic book name.
The comic book name is Dark Horse.
Yeah, that branch.
Yeah.
But I mean, but that's also like growing up and Power Rangers. It's like, okay, let's look at this. Okay, this is Ultron. This is the new Ultron. Because I grew up with that too.
Yeah.
And then, I don't even remember. I was in a just random, I think it was a Toys R Us or something. And then I see a freaking Power Rangers comic book. I'm like, what the fuck did Power Rangers become comic books? And now looking at everything is either book, movie, or graphic novel. And they all get turned into media.
Yeah.
TV, movies. It's like, okay. Because, what was it? Oh, what was the name of it? See, and this is where I'm bad, because I'm bad with names of TV shows and stuff. There was a TV show it was in the late 90s, I think it was 98 or 99, they came out with it. It only went for like a season or two. But it was basically a guy like Professor X, but without the physical, he has to be in the wheelchair thing.
Yeah.
But he had some sort of other thing that messed with him. that didn't have anything to do with his powers, but he was a multimillionaire because before he figured out he had powers and what having basically mutation in your genes and how many people actually have it and how they need to be helped, and he wanted to help everybody, kind of like Professor X.
Yep.
And creating his own little group to keep the world safe. That was like the thing. I'm like, dude, this is like X-Men, but they're trying to do it with life people, and they're doing a half-ass shitty job. And that was, I think the last episode came out in late '99 or mid 2000. They only got like to maybe a season and a half, 2 seasons max.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't. It was a good series, but it was like nothing like X-Men, and everybody knew it's like, no, they're just trying to do something like X-Men. Why? Because Fox ran in it, and Fox does everything. Marvel, that is, oh god, people just do the damn show, either cartoons or real people. Pick one. And then they started coming out with the movies. I'm like, finally, somebody picked something to do because they were done with the with the cartoons. And now we've got, what is it? You got X-Men. Oh, fuck.
2.
No, I'm talking about the cartoons.
Oh.
You have X-Men.
X-Men and Wolverine or something? Wolverine and Friends or
No,
X-Men Evolution?
But Evolution.
Okay.
And then there's one other one that they did with the X-Men where Wolverine's the adult and they're basically going through him being used like a teacher at the school, which was part of Evolution, but not really. And then the next one where he just was. And it's like, okay, can we like just pick a universe and stick with it? And then, no, we're gonna come out with this movie that says Wolverine's going back to the past to fix everything, and now everything's changed. Just like, fuckers can't keep in one universe. And then come find out, what was it? 2 weeks ago? A week ago? No, it was a week ago on Sunday. I was watching a YouTube video, Variant.
Yeah, Variant.
Because he does a lot of the DC Marvel Universe. That they're now, even though they did the new 52, because a lot of people had big bitches about that and didn't like the way it was done, they're redoing it again. It's like,
motherfucker.
Right? It's like,
son of a bitch.
But the funny part is, with the new one, everybody knows about the alternate universes. They all live in sync together, but they all know they all live there, and all the different versions, you know who the fuck your enemy is, and you know all your different versions, where you're good, bad, and why you're neutral here and don't have powers. Sort of thing, and it's like, why would I want to hang out with all versions of me? Some are assholes, some are nice, and some, yeah, I don't want to fucking talk to you.
50 Shades of Tim coming your way.
We're not going 50 Shades of Tim. The world would explode.
50 Shades of Governor. You're not gonna touch that?
Not on live stream. I'm going to eat. You have fun.
Tim stuffing his face. That was his answer to 50 Shades.
That.
That was his answer to 50 Shades, of stuffing his face with, like, sugary cream goodness.
There's no cream, it's just sugar. Shut up.
I'm
You
gonna
make
open
me
up
want to
doors.
be fat again. Shut your mouth.
Make this stream great again.
50 Shades of Me would scare everybody out of their pants and out of their lives. We're not going there yet. I'm not in office. When I get into office, then I can scare the shit out of them.
You may get laid by your wife again.
Or get laid by everybody else.
Now it's fun times with WandaVision and fun times having all this stuff on Disney Plus and all this new era. Like, we used to live in an era where they talked about making Black Widow, they talked about making a Wanda movie, they talked about this, they kept talking about it. And now we're in an era where they're doing it. They're spending like millions of dollars and they're making all these movies and stuff like that. And they're trying to make all these stories.
Is which I'm still trying to figure out. When did Disney buy Fox? Or did they?
I think it was no. They never did buy Fox. No,
What?
they did. They did an acquisition deal where the rights for Marvel for Spider-Man and all those other not Spider-Man X-Men went to Marvel, and Fox and Marvel decided to join forces a little bit. There's like an acquisition deal going on. I don't remember all the terms and everything, but that's what happened.
No, because like 2-3 months into watching stuff on Disney Plus, Simpsons. It's like, ain't that like Fox owned?
Simpsons, yeah.
Yeah, no, it came out of nowhere. It's on Disney Plus.
I think that
my mom would never let me watch that shit when growing up.
That's right. Disney did buy a bunch of properties recently.
That's why I was like,
it was like a acquisition thing that Disney and Fox did.
But I mean, I watched a few of the episodes. I think I got to like season 2 or 3. And I'm like, yeah, now I remember why I never watched these shows. They were just fucking stupid.
What's funny is
Stop it, Simba.
both you and Bart or you and Homer are eating donuts.
Fuck off.
So I'm stupid. You have something in common with them. So this is our future governor / built Homer Simpson.
Yes, I'm the Homer who actually hates beer. Which there's a ha-ha on that.
Don't
actually fit.
Don't nut.
Picking on me, my boy. See, and I'm getting abused, but he's my running mate, because at least we can joke. Fuck it. Plus, I don't mind getting made fun of. It doesn't bug me one bit. I got thick skin.
Tease with love. With those 50 Shades.
No, he wants it, okay. So first law when I get in office, every house must have one fuck swing. Somewhere attached. There you go, there's your 50 Shades. There's your 50 Shades of Governor.
Campaign slogan.
Wrong with him?
Campaign slogan. Don't.
No. I'm sorry, I'll go with the Tim Allen one.
They gotta get a picture of you like looking off in the distance, like have like this distance with a donut in your mouth. And then the other hand you're carrying a weight. You're like, we could do this. Watch, your sister's gonna see this and she's gonna make that a thing.
Look for it on TikTok. Carnage6778. That's my name everywhere. Find me. You'll enjoy yourself.
Yeah, he does a lot of video content. I swear, I get up in the morning to go to work and stuff, and there's at least 5 notifications from TikTok because I followed his ass on TikTok. And so there's at least 5 notifications a day in the morning in which he's just posting random stuff, and it's always the same picture too. He's super like he's topless, and he's like, it's the same picture over and over again. And like
not always topless.
He's the next Schwarzenegger governor. The Terminator.
I don't like shorts.
Clearly it's a Potter thing, because my kids are Paxtons, but they don't like clothes either. They don't like shirts. Like Arian will literally, like, if he can get away with it, he'll never wear a shirt.
Nephi.
Yeah, same with him. Nephi always
he
loses
was trying
shirts.
to be in the podcast. What was it, like 3 or 4 ago?
Yeah, well, he made it into the second one, so we're gonna try and have another one soon.
Yeah.
I named him the
But
third
the thing
P.
was, as soon as he sat down, your wife, my sister, said, "Put on a shirt. You're gonna get them banned and banned on Twitch for the live stream. You fucking idiot."
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, shit happens.
Yeah, what's funny is she was talking about that off camera, like she was like making a quip off camera that we're gonna get banned or something, just because Nephi has the love of the love of his life is lack of a shirt. The other love of his life is Cam, but the love of his life is without a shirt, and so he loves walking around the apartment and running around everywhere without a shirt. And quite frequently, he will leave the apartment, get into his car, and then leave and bounce, and won't even wearing a shirt. Like his wife will be like, "You're supposed to be wearing a shirt, Dale," and he'll be like, "Oh yeah, where's my shirt?" She'll be like, "You left it at Amber and Thomas's." You're like, "Oh, I did? Fuck!" And so he drives all the way back over here and goes, and then he rings the doorbell, and I go look over and I open the door and there's a shirtless Nephi, and I'm like, "You forgot something." And I hold up the shirt. He's like, "Oh, you got it." And I'm like, "Yeah, only because Amber told me." And there was one time where he comes over and he's like rummaging around the living room. I'm like, "What the fuck are you looking for, shirtless man?" And he's just like, "That's you said it. So I don't have a shirt, bro." And I'm like, "Bruh," and I hold up the shirt and give it to him because like it's like on the freaking the fence because we have a baby gate around the staircase, and he goes, "Oh, thanks." I'm like, "Yep, bruh." And he's like, "Bruh." It's like a little second language we've got called bruh.
But no, I mean, dude, I used to do it all the time. Hell, I still do it. It's like, why don't you put on a shirt? Why? That hides all the fur. Gotta give the lady something to look at. That's like, anytime I work out or whatnot, if I can get away with it, like I did it a couple weeks ago with Amber and Mom.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, Amber, here's my phone. Record me. Why? So that way I can be topless. Looks like I'm making a YouTube video. Nobody said nothing. I saw a couple ladies look just like, you know it. Every woman wants a furry to cuddle with. Right here. I am the furry.
Yep.
I don't need a costume. I just plus I have a beard.
Yep.
Actually, I just have a neck beard.
Yeah, my sideburns are coming back.
No, go away, icing. Not on my beard. No.
In case you guys are wondering, I cut my beard a little too close on the sides, and like, because I take the shaver and I just kind of try to trim it and stuff, or I just try to pull the hair away from my head and then just measure it and trim, and like I mismeasured. Yeah, I mismeasured like a fucking asshole and fucking cut like halfway down the thing, and there's like a strip of hair on the side that was like, and so I was just like trying to get as close to the edge as possible. Didn't work, and ended up shaving the whole way, and I'm like, fuck, and it's gonna look goofy if I leave it. So I had to shave the whole thing off.
Like,
on
no, I
sides.
gotta just you were like, she's like, yeah. Tom was so pissed because he took off his sideburns and connected his beard, so he's like, fuck it.
Yep, and he just cut the whole thing, but now it's like an eighth of an inch now, so it only took about a week, but it's almost back. I figured we can give it another week and it'll be fully back, and I'll just shave off the sides right here. Yeah, my facial hair doesn't take that long to grow back. That's one thing I can say.
No, facial hair doesn't. That's like me. I mean, I've been with this for what, like 6 months now?
Yeah, thereabouts.
I mean, but this is actually decent length. But I mean, because I don't brush it every day. Because if I brush it every day, this would be here.
Yeah.
But I was like, I don't like brushing it. I like it slightly fuzzy, and the sound's still there. There's just a hiccup and everything else.
We're back. I just throw in another effect.
No, see, that's where we don't cut the videos and match them up. That's where we leave the empty spot with just the background. Okay, it cut off, so cut that off.
Well, you haven't seen episode 2 yet, have you? On my YouTube channel, you haven't seen it yet.
There's I tried to watch it the other day, and it's like, no, you still have like 6 hours before it's available.
An hour and 8 minutes in, you'll see like where the thing goes, and like the exact same thing you said earlier, where it's like, did it freeze? And like this last time though, you were like, why did it freeze? I'm like, cause it's stupid. And then like it loads, and I put like a loading sign, and it was like loading, and then finally when it was done loading all the way, fucking the camera came back, and I was like, oh my god, that was perfect.
Okay.
So if it had a long tanks to come back, the loading sign would be perfect. So.
As long as you got it figured out, because me, it's just here talking, and it's like, well, that froze, and they're like, what froze? The other recording.
Yep.
Which is why also I bring over my flash drive. If you want to put the edited stuff on, I'll drop that on YouTube, or just give me the raw just footage. Make sure it's cut together properly.
Well, I have episodes 2 and 3 all edited together now. Like they're all edited.
Oh
The only
no,
one
I
that's
mean
left
I
is
already
4.
got the straight cut because where we were saying to fix it to make it together, even if we're just putting the like a picture or something, just leaving the background.
Yep.
Because I've made that comment before because I was talking to Amber about it. I don't know if she relayed it. But I made a comment about it because you were talking about it because on episode 2 we had the hiccups. And it's like, okay. And I've already got episode 2 and 3 on my flash drive.
Episode 2 and 3, episode 2 technically was 2 parts because I had to I stopped the recording. I didn't learn how to do that camera trick. Stopped the recording and then restarted it, so it was 2 videos, so I had to mesh them together. And so that's what I did, was I meshed them together, but instead of doing some weird, like, thing with the filter, instead I just slapped the loading screen on, and it worked perfectly. It was like a joke. Okay. But, like, yeah, no, it was funny, because right after it loads, comes back, I actually had Amber watch it, because I was like, hey, watch this shit. So I played it, and she was, like, watching it and everything, and it was like, why did it freeze? Because it's stupid. And then it loads, and then she's just like, and then she starts just dying laughter. She's just like, oh my god, it reminded of Markiplier, and I'm like, I did it. I was like, it's like that. It's like
because y'all
like
put
the pros.
episode 3 on my flash drive because I just dropped it off of there last time on my home computer. It actually went a lot faster, but I wanted the background on 3 because I like the backgrounds we pick. So it's like, okay, here's the flash drive. I want the one with the background. That's why I'm just waiting on episode 4 so you can drop it in there.
Yeah. Yeah, episode 4, I was actually meaning to have episode 4 done by yesterday, but the fucking, I keep having to wait till they encode all the way, because Premiere Pro doesn't want me to do multiple different things at once, even though I would do that, and it doesn't let me encode and then edit and encode, and basically edit while I'm encoding, otherwise I'd be having 2 episodes done one night.
Yeah. I've heard from a lot of people half the BS is a full, basically, 4 to 6 hours of editing. And then you gotta wait anywhere from 6 to 12 hours for it to do its bullshit.
For it to encode and get everything all done.
And then, depending on how big the video is, or how YouTube wants to act, or your internet wants to act, anywhere from 12 to 48 hours before you freaking put it on. So, always try to download it 2 days before you freaking need to. Just set it for whatever time it's gonna come out, and it comes out.
Yep. I need to get a terabyte hard drive at some point so that I can so that I can have an external hard drive to stick all the episodes, basically the backdated episodes, the ones that are already done, just stick them in an archive somewhere so that I don't lose them. And so if I have to reference to them, I can.
Yeah.
That's what I have to do eventually. But no, that's pretty much where we're at. Is we've got 3 or 4 episodes already done. This is the 5th, and
the fun part for me is going to be editing the Phasmophobia.
Yeah, Phasmophobia is going to be fun, because
that was going to be fun for me, because cutting it up to like 3 or 4 episodes, because we did 2 hours and like 5-10 minutes.
Yep.
Cutting that up into 20 to 30-minute episodes and just throwing that shit on YouTube, that's going to be, I think, what's actually going to get us the most viewers. And they're like, oh, they do podcasts too. And then they'll
see the game streams, and then they'll see because that's what we're going to be doing now, is we're going to be doing game streams and podcasts.
Yeah, game streaming records for YouTube on Fridays. We did it tonight, because tonight was let's see how it runs.
Yeah, let's see how it does. Let's see how it works, and it was like a trial run. It was an introduction.
Yeah, my computer actually ran fairly good on your Wi-Fi, and we did it.
Yeah, we did it.
Let's see if the stream that we did earlier loads up as fast as these do, but I think these load faster because on that, it's unedited. It's just straight stream. But like I said, I'm still working on how to do it, because when I get that to work on my computer, the one just put back in my car before we went and get drinks, as soon as I can figure out how to get them both to run in sync with the OBS, or figure out how to do it through OBS with my iPhone, because I'm going to be looking up some videos the next couple of days on that one. And once I figure out how to do that, or have to have a third-party program to get it all to sync, I'm going to do that. So next time when I come over, I'm going to have a freaking lean in, find some stuff in your house, or bring some crap from my house, or use the foam I got in my backpack.
Yeah.
To make a little stand, so that way, phone sits here, perfectly held. Okay, cool. It's recording me. Let's play. My face up in the corner. Phasmophobia. The rest of the screen. Yes, y'all are seeing me live while I'm freaking playing a game. Let's run this bitch.
Yep.
I just gotta figure out the dynamics, get that sweet spot, and go with it.
Yep.
So that's the only thing in my head right now. Because I mean, this is fun, but my thing is with Nephi also making the thing. Yeah, we just need to do games. I'm like, cool. That's the new Friday night thing because that's usually game night.
Yep.
Tonight was the launcher to see if we liked it. We had a fucking blast. We're gonna do it again.
Oh yeah, no, I was so jazzed. Like I was more jazzed than I ever thought possible. Like I'm the guy that I like original content. I like creating original stuff, which is part of why I'm such a writer guy. I like being able to create original stuff, and so like the idea of playing a video game and streaming it is weird to me because like you're basically just simply playing a video game and then thinking that you guys are funny and then like posting on the internet. But because of how much fun it was to do it and
how
actually
goofy we all are together.
Goofy. Like I was playing it back and being like, wow, this could actually be funny. Like I see potential in this, and even though it's just us BSing on a fucking video game, like I was just like, now I see why these fuckers do it. Like, and
these are why people on YouTube are millionaires because
yeah,
it's that fucking hard. You just gotta get people to follow you.
You just gotta get the right equipment, the right stuff, and then you just gotta get people to follow your ass and think you're funny too, and then you get a following. And so yeah, so I'm down. Like I actually am finally down on this whole thing.
We got you a laptop so that way you can goof off and you can do your writing. And now you're like, I can do this and do the streaming too.
Yeah, I can do all three at once. Yeah, let's do all three. And it's funny is my wife is probably overjoyed right now because she's been wanting to do
a fucking blast.
Yeah, she's been wanting to do the gaming stream thing forever. I mean, that's why we even have this fucking computer that we're doing this
setup. Yeah,
this setup here is because of the fact that I had bought it originally for her. And so that she could become a game streamer, and now we're using it for all the above, and she's probably over the moon right now. It's like she's probably in her mind counting down to the next one.
The only thing she said go for was because I need a drink.
Yeah, that's about it.
The only reason she's like, no, you need to go because I'm thirsty.
Yeah.
If she wasn't thirsty, we'd have been sitting here and just ran straight into the podcast without getting a drink. But I'm like, no, we need a drink because I'm starting to get dry too.
Yeah, and
that was my big thing.
And so it's just like, yeah, we're gonna keep going on this podcast thing. We're gonna go for however long we want.
I'm gonna steal her water.
We're gonna keep going on this podcast thing for probably several episodes. We're probably gonna get to like episode 300 or some shit. But like, we figured we're gonna play Phasmophobia, and then we're gonna find other games that we enjoy. We're gonna find a way to get those games, and we're gonna just have like a game stream series.
Now that you did the whole Steam thing, got your own because how we were talking about you can't play and Amber play if you're using the same Steam account.
And I just bought my own.
Yeah, just save up a few bucks and then, we could do the whole Among Us all playing on our computer.
That's like $5.
Yeah.
So I could just buy
Among Us. If you get the one I got, which was like 13 and change, after taxes was like 15, it was basically get all the add-ons.
Without
having to pay for the individual costumes, just to get all the crap at once. That's why I paid a few extra bucks. $5 or 15. I'll pay the 15 so that way I have all the shit. Yeah. So that way if I want to wear the suit or, kind of do like the corpse with the ears and stuff.
Yeah.
The only thing I can't get is because we passed Halloween before I bought it, so I can't get the red horns.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with. You know what? It happens. I missed my opportunity to get some of the stuff I want. Now I don't have to worry about any of it, and I'm not going to play it on my phone because I can decorate myself and get into a costume and with some of the other people I play Among Us with, run with that shit and have a blast.
Yeah.
Because, what's her name?
Remember that time when we named ourselves each, like, you will die or something like that, or you're going to die? And, like, suddenly, like, we actually got people, got people fucking involved in that shit. Like, we could print screen it, and, like, we could save the screenshots.
On my phone. I could actually use that for a freaking Among Us playthrough for YouTube. Bloop.
I'm really tempted to actually get the full-on fucking game, like, get all the add-ons and everything, and then just have some Among Us streams on some nights, and then have the Phasmophobia on other nights. And then find other games to play.
Find other games that we like and do stuff like that.
Start doing gaming
streams. He was wanting to do Terraria.
Yeah.
Minecraft, which if you're into that. But I mean, Terraria is the cheaper one. I gotta buy that for myself, so that'll take next week.
This is the new thing, guys. We're creating new little series. We're creating this podcast series. Then we're gonna be creating a video game series. I've got
15 different video games.
Yeah, I've got the podcast that I do with Jonathan Day over at Cinema Macabre, or Bloody Streams on YouTube. You find him. He actually has played through quite a few different games on there. He's played the entire games for I don't remember the exact game names. I'm failing right now, but there's been so many different games that he's played already on there. Like, he has entire playthroughs that are already done. So if you go on Bloody Streams on YouTube and you search up Cinema Macabre or just Bloody Streams, and you search and you see Jonathan Day on there, let him know that I sent you. Just comment in the comment section. Thomas Paxton brought me here. T-Paw brought me here, and then he'll know. He'll be like, "Oh fuck, my buddy," and so he'll see that because he's kind of he's kind of OCD about knowing all the data and consolidating everything. But I'm gonna let him know that let him know that that he may be getting visitors. But if you see this and you're interested in video game streaming, then definitely look him up. There's a plug. But yeah, but
no,
yeah.
You know what we're gonna have to do now, right? For this, we'll just do it on our Twitch, right? We'll do the video games, we'll do the podcasting. But the funny part is, we're gonna have to create secondary YouTube channels. One for podcasts, one for video games.
No,
so that way we
I'm not
famous on 2 different accounts. No?
I'm not. No.
You don't think so?
No, not for me. Like, I'm gonna create an entire section on YouTube for all of my video game streams. Like, unless it becomes so big where there's like 500 fucking videos on there and I actually have to divide them out, then I'll repost videos and stuff. But like until then, I've got it small right now. I'm gonna create different playlists and different sections, different divisions on my YouTube channel for the video game streams, the CrazyP podcast, my reviews, because I've got reviews I'm gonna be putting on there. I did Soul recently, and then did Harley Quinn with my wife, and then we did Wonder Woman. I've got other reviews I'm gonna be doing.
I want to watch the Harley Quinn one, the
Birds of Prey.
Oh,
it was fun as hell. Like, I've seen it 3 times. And 2 of the times was back to back. One night I watched it by myself, and then the other night I watched it with her. That was a fun as fuck movie. But so
maybe we'll do that. We'll do that Tuesday night then.
Yeah, you wanna review that movie?
We'll watch it. I want to watch it.
You want to watch it?
And then we'll go from there. I mean, if I like it or whatnot, we can talk about it on the podcast next Saturday.
There's a topic. But like, yeah, no, it's great because one of the things I absolutely love about this whole podcast thing, the vlogging, is that you get to like share your actual thoughts and you get to talk and stuff. And I'm getting used to being on camera. I'm getting used to talking, getting used to being on camera. Before, you know how terrified I was about doing this? Like,
yeah, that's why I told you we're gonna do it.
Yeah, like I told him, I was like, I have extreme anxiety.
That's where me just being a pompous, I can do anything kicked in. Shut up, we're gonna do it.
Yeah,
you're gonna have fun.
I have anxiety, and so I am constantly self-conscious of how I look.
Look at what it did because of the green string. It like
shit.
Blocked your. That's your head for his arm. That was awesome, no offense. That looked awesome.
Yeah,
that was a goofy shit I noticed.
I was there talking.
I just completely effed you up, didn't I?
Yeah, a little bit. I was sitting there like 5 episodes ago. I did not expect to be at episode 5 already, and I did not expect us to get this far. I honestly was just like, we're going to run out of shit to do by the time we get to episode 5. And here we are, doing episode 5, and already talking about doing another video game, doing another podcast, or doing another stream. Like, holy shit. Like, fuck. Like, I did not.
If I wants to become famous, I want to become famous. You want to become famous, and you also want to sell your books. So we're gonna become famous doing everything and anything we can, and possibly one of these days making music like I was talking about for fun, for shits and giggles. But with me, you, Nephi, running this thing, like me and Nephi do, it's like, no, we're just gonna do it.
Yeah.
Like I did with you talking about podcasts. Okay, let's just do it. Quit waiting for everybody else. Let's just go do it for fun. And now we're at episode 5. We're having a blast, laughing our asses off, being goofy, and hell yeah. Because if we're not having fun, there's no goddamn point.
Yeah, I mean that's part of why this got started is because I was sitting on the couch with him one night and I was like, we're going back and forth. We're going for like 3 hours at this point. Like it was a Saturday night or Friday night, and Nephi was supposed to come over because they often were coming up here to the loft where this is being filmed, and we were sitting there and we're often playing Among Us. We just sit on the bed or sit out somewhere, and we just go back and forth. And there was one night where Nephi didn't come up because his wife's pregnant and she's having like her labor stuff. Child's getting born next month. And emotional issues and stuff. And so Tim and I were just here, and we are just going back and forth for 3 fucking hours. And I was like, you know, we could have been filming this entire time. And he's like, what do you mean we could have been filming? I'm like, we do a podcast. And
oh, you mean kind of like the guy like on YouTube, Barnacle?
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't know who he is.
I was like, I know
I'll
who he is, but
you'll enjoy it.
I told him like, or like Kevin Smith, and he was like, oh, I kind of know who that is. And then like we're kind of going back and forth to who we're talking about. So he pulls up Barnacles, I pull up Kevin Smith. We use our own visual examples to show each other what we're talking about, and now suddenly this is happening. So
we're having fun.
Yeah. So it's like, so yeah, no, this is it's always a blast every time we do this. There's some episodes where we look more serious than we are, but mostly because we're trying to get used to the swing of like recording ourselves talking and stuff, and then like keep ourselves in like a situational area where you guys are entertained, hopefully. So yeah, but it's cool because we were able to do a review in this episode. We were able to talk about you know, some comic book stuff. We were able to talk about what your takes on Dark Horse and X-Men, and then we talked about WandaVision. So there literally is a WandaVision review in this thing. You know, there's a lot of stuff. Then we talk about Phasmophobia. We talk about that game session that you guys will be no doubt watching soon. So
if you haven't already watched it while we were live,
yeah. So it's like you know, this is a great opportunity to really find ways to express ourselves in a setting where you guys are entertained. And if this helps, you know, break you guys away from your grueling work week, or you guys are dealing with some stuff and you guys need a distraction, here you go. This is what this is for. Part of what it's for us to have our own break and our own outlet, and it's also for you guys to.
And if you guys are entertained while we're having our break, we're both getting benefits.
Yes, and we want you to subscribe down below. Down below. Still get used to the camera. Yeah. Subscribe down below.
Yours says subscribe. Yep. Mine's follow.
Yep.
There, but it's subscribe for YouTube.
Yep.
And I've changed all of my names.
Punch that like button in the face, and then also subscribe. Subscribe down below. And also.
Subscribe.
And so, also
leave editing that.
Yeah. And so, leave a comment letting us know what you guys want us else to talk about. We're not done yet. I'm not clocking out just yet, but I do want you guys to let us know what you guys want us to talk about, if there's anything at all. Otherwise, I'll just keep coming up with stuff, and we'll just keep coming up with stuff together to talk about, and you guys will just have stuff that we talked about. Yeah, just random bullshit, whatever. But like, yeah,
but that's who we are, though. We're random.
Yep. I mean, the WandaVision thing was not planned. Like,
no,
it was just like me being like, hey.
How you'd watched it. Oh, yeah, I watched the first episode. It's like, okay, cool. That's the first thing we're talking about.
Yep, and we're just like, let's talk about that next, yeah? I have never done it before, but I have to actually watch Infinity War and Endgame again, back to back. Full 5-hour fucking movie. When I was 19, I would have done that cakewalk. Like, it would have just been done. But because I've got kids, and because I got, like, 1,000 responsibilities now, it's so much harder to sit and park my butt for, like, 2.5 hours and be like, movie. And then 5 hours,
we
movie.
might be able to do that. Because your TV's kind of like, well, my TV's older, the big one. Huh?
I've got a Roku, too. Disney Plus.
Oh, yeah.
Roku.
You have it, right?
Yeah.
And
it's because of the TV.
I'm saying, so do I on my phone. I mean, it's just plug and play.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to actually do that, a review on Infinity War and Endgame?
We could rewatch it and go over them again, because I haven't watched them in a while.
I mean, that's something we
can
talk about later.
Birds of Prey was the first one I was wanting to watch, because I didn't get to watch that one, and I wanted to watch that one.
Yeah.
I mean, I partially watched the, what was it, Wonder Woman 84. I'd actually like to finish that.
Yeah, you haven't finished it yet, have you?
No.
Oh, shit.
I've been too busy, and I don't have HBO, and with all the services I'm paying for, or people are helping me pay for, because the grandparents or the great-grandparents
are
basically helping us pay for it all.
I believe it's still on HBO Max till the 24th, so You should
Well,
get
no,
on
I
that.
meant they're helping with the Hulu because they use it more than we do. They're helping
Yeah.
with the Disney Plus because they watch them more than we do. They're helping with the Netflix because they watch that way more than I do. I like have one or two shows I watch on each platform,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Makes sense.
I mean, on Disney Plus, I only go on Disney Plus to watch. Well, for me, it's basically to watch if I'm in the mood for Marvel, but 90% of the time, I'm gonna watch the freaking Star Wars movies again for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Because you like talking about Star Wars, I'm like,
Oh, I love talking about Star Wars.
okay, I'm gonna rewatch the movies so that way, random subject to talk about while
Star
at
Wars
the gym.
has indirectly been in my DNA since I was a young little baby. Like, because my dad was obsessed with it.
Let's see, what was...
Still obsessed with it.
I just finished, like, 2 days ago, rewatching, well, finished rewatching, 7,
Oh,
and
Force Awakens?
I'm on 8.
So Force Awakens, and then you're going to watch Last Jedi?
I'm currently in, like, 20 minutes into Last Jedi.
I actually was going to watch that shit on my laptop. I was going to
Why
watch the
not?
entire trilogy back to back on my laptop,
But
because
I'm
I've never done
usually
that.
stuck on my phone, because I feel weird being on my computer, especially because with watching the kids when they're
Yeah.
at homes, because they don't go to school on Friday, and if, well, especially with Monday and Tuesday, no school for the kids. Tuesdays are gonna be weird for that one, especially Tuesday night. Me coming to get Amber to work out, that's just gonna be like.
Well, back when I lived with my dad and stuff before I moved out and everything, I actually had my Asus laptop, which is funny because I got an Asus laptop again. But my Asus, I actually did not have a smartphone back then. I had a basic flip phone, and I would watch movies on my laptop all the time and watch TV shows all the time. And so I got used to the whole laptop thing because right after I got done with watching the movie, my book was like right around the corner on the desktop, and so I would pull up the book or pull up a story I was working on, write some, and then I would turn on a movie and it would all be consolidated in one place. So I'm still used to the laptop concept, even though I have a smartphone now. And so, yeah, for me, it's normal to watch it on my laptop. And so,
yeah,
I can see myself
my
doing that.
default's going to phone because you gotta remember when I first got a phone. Before text messaging, it was literally just a fucking phone.
Yeah.
No, you use this to make phone calls. It is a phone, motherfucker.
Mhm.
That's all it does.
Now we hardly ever use the phone app.
Right? Nobody ever calls anybody except for my ass. What's up?
Yeah.
Dude, just call me.
Dude,
Don't try to Facebook fucking call me.
I've been called with Messenger, Discord, and the phone app all in one day within an hour. Like I've had people call me on all three of the
Well,
different
let's see.
functions.
Nephi tried to call you, then he tried to call Amber.
With
when we
Facebook
were heading
Messenger.
over.
Yep.
And then it was just call his damn phone. Called your phone, you picked up. I just woke up. Dude, it's like almost 5. I didn't go to bed till like 9, 10 o'clock this morning. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the damn shit
doing
for
stuff.
freaking YouTube still isn't done. I'm like, okay. If y'all come over, I'm not gonna get up and go. We're gonna wait a few minutes. I'm like, okay, whatever.
JB warned me about that too. He's like, dude, if you ever start encoding or doing stuff for your own stuff, like, just warning you, it's gonna take fucking forever to do any of it.
Well, yeah, but that stuff, it does. Because I don't know how many times I've heard Markiplier and Jacksepticeye talk about when they first started their channel was doing it all themselves. Fuck. I had to start doing the video coming out Monday on Saturday.
Yeah.
It's like, ouch. That's why now that I've actually made it big in YouTube, I pay somebody else to do it because I ain't doing that shit. Somebody else to do it because I ain't doing it myself. Hell no. I mean, I still do a little bit here and there before I send it to them, but
well, part of why
I will pay somebody else. I make enough money.
part of why I'm doing it myself and everything is because of the fact that I want to eventually be a filmmaker one day. And I am kind of a filmmaker now that I think about it.
That freaking pops into
together.
what we were
two
talking
movies,
about.
position a camera, and
Doing
do stuff.
Kickstarter, which we'll have to put in our YouTube videos. Talking about how we want to do a Kickstarter, and we'll figure that out this next week.
Yeah, we keep talking. We keep talking about that, and then we never do it. Like we're doing
it this week.
So we're doing a Kickstarter. So we're doing a Kickstarter. So we're gonna talk about it because we can find some space to talk about it. We're doing a Kickstarter in which we're going, like when we're talking about running for governor, running for lieutenant governor, the Kickstarter program is meant to help us with any fees, like application fees, any running mate fees, any fees in general, Kickstarter is meant to help with that. And when we were doing our research on how much it takes to actually do the things, it takes like 40 grand just to do it for each person.
Yeah, but also because you want to, do a studio where we can do this
Yeah,
stuff.
and we're also doing the studio thing. I want to actually get a hold of an actual building studio.
You like recording music and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that sounds like fun. We could do it together. Just like we started doing this together. And Nephi's like, ooh, let's play video games on the computers together. Okay. He said that. It's like, okay, we want to do Phasmophobia.
Yeah,
like,
so...
Wait, what? I didn't think we were going to do that today. I want to do Terraria. No, we don't want to do that right now. We want to do this.
So likely I'm going to get a PayPal set up with a separate account, and then I'm going to get a Kickstarter set up in which people, if you want to donate to the cause, if you want to add to the Kickstarter, things like that to help us out, then that would be amazing.
Stuff in the description.
Yep, we'll put that in the description.
It will be under his name because I'm disabled and I can't really make all that much. But if I make it big on YouTube and start making money, I won't have to be on disability anymore, and I'll actually be able to afford to live.
And I'm a lowly Verizon guy. Like, that's what I am. I'm a.
Hey, at least you make
can't say pencil
wage,
pusher.
Dude, I make less than minimum wage. It sucks ass.
Yeah, I can't say I'm a pencil pusher, but I'm a desk jockey, and I literally have a headset on my head when I'm working, and or I'm doing chat support, helping the floor with answering questions or taking supervisor calls. That's what I do, and so that's me. And yet, for some reason, the mystery of life in the sense that he's on disability and I'm doing that job, and yet somehow we're around the same place financially, which is part of why we're doing the governor thing. We're doing the thing to try to fix everything so that we can
the Kickstarter and everything.
Yep. Influence ideas, influence change of some kind to break the system out of its normal cycle in which everyone stays poor. Like, no matter where you are. If you're in a higher bracket, financially speaking, then you often look down on someone of lower tier. I'm not saying that everyone does, but it's an often commonality.
Plus, they also get too many tax breaks.
Yeah, so...
You donated half your fortune to charity this year. Here's all your money back. No.
Yeah.
You're supposed to donate it to charity because they need it, not because, ooh, I get a tax write-off and I get $5 million back for donating $10 million. Fuck you, dude. You already had $10 million. Kiss my ass. You don't need no more money back. The government needs that to properly fund schooling and everything else, or we need to put that back into, like, I don't know, Shriners or any of the cancer hospitals and that sort of stuff, because they actually need the funding because they're trying to cure diseases.
Yeah, we need to find a way to change the way the system works so that it actually helps people who are sick, people who are having issues with their life, and also change the way the education system.
Mentally and physically disabled.
Yep. So there's a lot of things that we're trying to do. We're going to try to do. After because we're doing all this fun stuff where we're entertaining you guys, and I'm a creator, so I create stories, and then I create this and I create that, and I always find other things to do. He's finding things to do with us, and so with me and stuff, and so while we're doing that, it's awesome. But the only time we can really affect real, actual, like, game-changing life change is if we run for office of some kind and try to get into office so we can make those changes, or at least try to find a way to help influence those changes in some way, which isn't just suggesting
reality
things.
Instead of just talking about it. Because, like I said, I'm an 80s kid. I've been hearing people talk about this for the last... Next year, it'll be 40 years.
Oh, yeah, no, everyone's got the idea. They've got the idea of, like, oh, yeah, you should run, or, oh, yeah, you've got good ideas, you should run. They always want someone else to do it.
Who was willing to run with me. You said, I'm down.
Yeah, I was like,
all right, then we're doing this.
It's like, I hate politics, but I can totally do it until they run with you.
Which makes us the best politicians, because we're not politics. We're not going to feed you a bunch of bullshit to get in office. We're going to tell you, this is what we're going to try to do. I'm not promising anything, because I don't know what the fuck's going to happen, but we're going to do our best.
Yeah, do you know how
just be honest.
This last election season almost completely scared me away from politics completely. Like, it almost scared me away from voting. Like, I almost want to go to some remote location and never be found.
Because of that, this last election year,
yeah,
the bullshit we dealt with in November and just the BS we've dealt with since then with dumbass who won't leave,
yeah,
has actually made me, I mean, you've seen the last few freaking podcasts, how I've been so anal retentive on talking about this shit.
Yeah.
Because you even made a comment, dude, you need to hold it back here. But
yeah, I mean, I'm sitting here and I'm
for
cutting video
me,
together and I'm bouncing around in the video
because
camera, and all I
of
end
how
up
shitty
have
it's
to kind of
gotten,
hear. Yeah, go ahead.
and how bad that is, that actually made me no. I'm finally gonna push forward and I'm gonna do this shit. Why? Because the system doesn't work, and the assholes who are doing this shit and running for office don't know what the fuck they're doing, and they need to be taken out of the damn office and quit being rich assholes. Why? Because us common folk, me, you,
Mm-hmm.
me being disabled and you being the income you make, which is more than minimum wage, but still shit
Lower
in
middle
the
class.
damn now
Yep.
in the economy. We're the ones who need to be running for office because we're not politicians. Who makes the best people for office and best politicians? Non-politicians.
Yep.
People who are not, in it for the politics and to make the money. Will the money help? Yes, the money will help my family and help his family. Are we in for it for that? No, we're in for it to change.
Yep.
The best politicians are those who are not politicians. Originally.
And honestly, like, if people are thinking, well, the person that we haven't named, he wasn't a politician either, and yet he created a bunch of crap. Well, that was one guy that
Well,
did a
no,
bunch
that's
of crap.
because he's always been an asshole, and it's the look at me, I'm famous. Because he had his own TV show.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the a-hole that you don't want as a politician. Why? Because all he thinks about is himself and the money. Woohoo! I'm richer! Yay!
Yep.
Even though he's filed for bankruptcy like 10 times in the last however long it's been. Or
It'd be nice
is it
to
6 times? Whatever. He's filed for bankruptcy too many times to even be on the public freaking. He can go blow it out
especially
his ass.
when they did actual audit on everything on his finances and found out that
Dude, he's
all the stuff that he was lying about.
that's anybody
I'm
who
scared to
makes
death.
more than $1 million
Dude,
bucks a year, dude.
I'm scared to death of doing my taxes incorrectly somehow and end up finding myself in a bad boat. And the fact that he was able to purposely do it and get away with as much as he did for so long, my gods.
Once you get up that high, you can pay enough freaking people whose job it is to make sure you get more money back than you actually put in or spend in a year, that you completely fuck the system.
Yeah.
Because, I'm sorry, if I say I'm going to give you $2 million to make sure I make $30 million on my taxes, and your normal freaking fee for doing taxes, those only like $1,000.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, wouldn't you take that? Oh, I know where all the loopholes is. Yes, motherfucker, I'll take your 2 mil. Thank you. You just bought me a house, or helped me pay off my house, and buy myself a new car, and
That is
pay for
true.
my kid's college fund. That's how they get away with
And
this
even if
stuff.
it's like
They
30
pay out the ass.
and even if they pay 35% of that back in taxes, then
dude, that's like chump change.
yeah, it's like a 350K, and they can still use 350K of that 2 million to buy a house and buy other stuff, or they can do a slightly less of that, get a rent to own or get something else, and then that there's a down payment, and then make more money later on, and then just pay it off all the way, or just pay it off all the way and then
way
make
to
more
make
money later.
money is to spend money.
Yeah.
If I spend $1 million on a car that I know in 2 years is going to be worth $20 million, I'm going to spend that $2 million. Why? Because I'm going to sell it in 3 years or 2 years, get 10 times my freaking investment back, and go, hee hee, I made money on a car, never drove anywhere, and didn't have anything to do with it except for look at the expensive motherfucker I got sitting in my garage.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what some of these assholes do. They literally buy the stupidest shit. Why? Because in 2 to 5 years, they'll sell it to somebody else for 2 to 3 times what they paid for it.
Yeah.
To make a chunk of change to go, hee hee, I didn't do anything but sit on it. Fuck off.
Yep. And they make extra equity.
It's if you're gonna do it to do that, no offense, you're just selling to the next asshole who's gonna do the same thing to the next asshole, and it's just a freaking circle of just people being dicks. And we're all tired of that. I mean, I've heard it my whole life. I know you've heard it your whole life.
Yep.
We're just tired of it.
I mean, I've heard so many adults too. When I was a child and I was a teenager.
Oh yeah.
Heard so many adults talking about it and talking trash on it, and like being so sarcastic and jaded by it. Yet they didn't want to actually create change. Like I'd ask them like, well, why hasn't changed yet? And they're like, because nobody else wants to change it. It's like, well, don't you want to change it? And they're like, yeah, but we can't do that. And I'm like, why not? And they're like, because we just can't. Because that's just the way it works. Because it's just how it is. And
because we're low on the totem pole. I'm sorry, I'm low on the totem pole because I'm disabled. That's why I want to drag your boat with me, because we're both low on the totem pole. and wreck this bitch and fix this bitch.
Yeah, I often heard it's above my pay grade so many times.
Motherfucker ain't nothing above my pay grade. You can't be above God's pay grade. Yes, I'm an arrogant
the
ass.
self-professed God.
Hey, you know what? Depending on which religion you look at, 90% of all religions say, when you die, they will show you, God will show you how to be just like Him. So no matter what religion I am, no matter which freaking god or goddess or whatever I follow, in the end, the promise is from all gods and goddesses is to make me just like them, which makes me a god and goddess. By any way you translate it, in the end, any religion that's been considered a true religion has taught that. Christianity teaches it, Judaism teach it, Muslims teach it, or Islam, or whatever the hell it is. Hinduism, actually they don't teach anything except for, I will do no harm. Quit killing Mother Earth. I'm sorry. The person in charge put that sumbitch here so that way we could use it to get ourselves to the next level. Now, have we completely screwed ourselves and completely fucked her in the ass the wrong way? Yes, because the first Mother Earth forgot to bring Luke. But that's not the point. The point is, in the end, you're gonna go one of three places: heaven, hell, or fuck you. We don't want to deal with you. You're stuck in the middle. Here's prison.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been hearing that crap at every freaking religion I've checked out, looked at, or done anything with. So I am the Christian, not Christian. I'm every religion at the same time. I'm no religion. That is my religious view. I'm everything and nothing all at the same time. Which sounds like what everybody says God is. He's everywhere and He's nowhere all at the exact same time. You just described me. I'm everything and nothing all at the same time. Okay, so that means I'm God. Cool.
I kind of see.
I'm skipping a step of just dying. Fuck it, I'm just claiming it now. Well, I mean, people claim that all the time. I'm God. I'll take your second coming. It's like, dude, if the second coming was here, it already happened. Oh, wait, it might have, because how many people disappear on a freaking regular basis since 2000, since the millennia?
A lot.
Yeah, random disappearances, and for all we know, that's step one of, because you read in Revelations and a few of the other books for the other religions out there, that they're going to take the purest. And who are the ones who are usually swept away and nobody knows why anything happened to them? Because they're the nicest, most kind, most pure-hearted people. If they're actually that, they got taken because they don't need to be in this shit stack no more because they're too good to be here.
And a lot of people who die.
I have nothing wrong with that.
And a lot of people either disappear or die of like the same cause every time. There's always like some sort of
the whole
thing that happened.
He disappeared 3 years later. We found him. He looked like he was the same age as he was when he disappeared. But he had a full belly when they did the autopsy. But yet he just died.
Yeah.
No reason, no explanation.
Yeah.
Like he's just literally skipped in time, and because he skipped in time, he died. 50 miles away, where they already did the search for him, and found nothing. And there's been so many people camping in the area, somebody should have ran over him in the last 5 years, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Random stuff like that. Okay, no, that's just his physical form. They're like, look, we don't need that one. We have a perfect body for him. Here's your perfect body.
Yeah.
Or it's the whole, it was aliens. It was Sasquatch. It was, oh my god. There's so many explanations and things. And here's the funny part. What if it's all of it and none of it all at the same time?
I mean, that's a possibility.
It's aliens. It's chupacabras. It's Bigfoot, Sasquatch, whatever you want to call them. Because there's like 15 different versions. The freaking Yeti, depending on the region you live in.
Yeah, the story's always
all
different.
The exact same shit, and at the same time, it's just different because their
culture's different.
Well, no, because the way they look to us is only determined by which universe or which dimension in the universal spread and thing is why they look like they do to us. Bigfoot is essentially a fifth dimensional creature, but he looks all hairy because when he's in our dimension, the third or fourth dimension, depending on who you look at it and how you look at it and how you believe, he just looks like a hairy freaking 6 foot to 8 foot tall big some bitch who works out all the time. What if he does work out all the time in the fifth dimension? He's just a big buff some bitch. Just when he crosses over, it makes him look fuzzy as fuck.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's like aliens. Aliens! You mean future humans who have figured out intergalactic travel? Or, from the religious point of view, you mean all those other people who weren't complete shitbags who God said I had to sacrifice my good kid because everybody on this planet's a douche? All those planets of all those good people who actually are already at the point of God because they weren't complete evil from the point of their creation. Of course, if you go by that view, that means God made us pure evil because he's like, I haven't done anything good. I need a new TV show. Let's make them all assholes. Well, I mean, but isn't that what we do with our TV shows? If we don't like it because it's too nice, let's throw a douchebag in and see what the fuck happens.
Yeah, there's also,
We're God's favorite freaking comedy.
Yeah, that is true. Because you got like all these different TV shows and you got all these different takes on religious tropes or religious stories that people tell, and you know you have all these different like mythologies that are being explored. And I know that people hear the word mythology and they think that I'm calling it fictional. Well, if it's a TV show, then it is fictional. But it's a take on reality. It's a take on someone's belief in reality, like yourself.
It's
like
only
you're going
fictional
into
if
your
you
spirituality.
believe it's fictional. If you believe hard enough, anything can be real. That's like the flat earthers. It's real. Okay,
Right.
cool. You just keep walking, and when you fall off the earth, you have fun when you land on God's head or land in his nutsack, wherever the hell you think you're gonna land. Have fun. Bye. What?
Flat
If you think
earthers
it's flat, keep walking until you get to the edge.
Weird, interesting ideology as far as flat earthing goes, because it suggests that the Earth doesn't tilt or doesn't do like much movement, and so therefore they're eventually going to fall off the Earth.
But see, here's the thing. That's like looking at the how we see two-dimensional things, like the comic books and like drawings. If they saw it from our point of view, if they went from 2D to 3D, would their world look different, or they'd be like, oh, there's just an extra side to that square. Now it's a cube. Ooh, look, it's not a dot, or it's not a circle, it's a sphere. It's all perception. I live in the third dimension. No, I live in the fifth dimension. No, dude, shut up. If you can't open your third eye all the way, you're just not gonna see it all. And some people can't, and I accept that. But some of the stuff I've seen in my life that just is beyond explanation, it's just like, you know what? The universe is the weird mother effer. Don't try to explain it all, because you're gonna get lost. And if you try to do the math, no offense, you're gonna get it wrong the first 500 times, because even our physics is freaking not right, because nobody's tried to see what the next level is, or if they have, all the people who have gotten stuck because they don't know where to go once they get to the freaking, I don't know what to do. This shouldn't make sense. This shouldn't be possible. Who says it shouldn't be possible? You mean the last guy who is still trying to figure out that this level is where our brains are when actually we should be up to here? I mean, especially with the way our technology is, we should not be stuck at here with our physics. We should already be up to here and be able to fly and teleport all around the world and do all this stuff that's been written as science fiction for the last like 15-20 years. With as fast as we've advanced, either it's bullshit and all fake, it's aliens and secret government projects, which technically aren't supposed to exist. That's why everybody's in the damn hole, especially the United States, because we have the most non-existent government, existent government, blah blah BS. Right. Don't ask me how I know. I'm not getting into that bullshit. But I mean, we can't explain it. You can't explain it because you don't understand the science behind it. Every level of science strips away a layer of magic. It's not magic, it's science.
Okay.
And once you get to the point where there's no more science to learn, you are essentially God himself, or you've gotten to the point where you can become, well, basically evolve to the next level, and you don't need a mortal coil or anything. You just exist.
Does that mean your body fades into the ether, or does that mean that your body just
Your
ceases
body
to exist?
turns into pure energy.
Okay.
You use the materials because everything's made of materials, and every material, its creation and it's constant. The human body, the way we are, because of all the energy that is produced on a molecular level to keep it all together.
Yeah.
Your body's pure energy. Once you become to a high enough state where you understand all matter, all levels of existence, and all forms of any form of freaking science, you understand it all. Technically, your physical body, you've gotten to the point where your brain's 100% and you don't need the physical body anymore because you've. That's 90% of the religions I've listened to. You will become translated and basically go straight to heaven. But if you're evil, you'll go straight to hell. Well, no, if you become that translated, then you're the same as God, and you don't need to be worried about this mortal BS coil and crap.
Did you
That
learn this from Christianity? What religion did you learn this from?
a little bit of all religions. Like I said, I take a little bit of everything.
And where?
Well, let's see. One is the LDS Church.
Okay.
With the whole, you will become when the second coming comes, or once you've gotten to a certain point, or if heaven, angels, God, whomever decides or is told to grab you because you no longer need to be here because you've become perfect,
Yeah.
you'll be taken to the next level. You become exalted, infinite, and at the same time still yourself. Which is their whole, everybody will become resurrected. Everybody will be given a perfect body. The only thing I have against the LDS Church with that one, well, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, listen to the LDS Church. That's a different church altogether, and so are the Mormons. They're each different factions in the same church, and if they knew that the other ones existed and didn't believe like they would believe, the church would fall apart and they'd all kill each other. But that's not the point. But I mean, I've also seen it in Wiccan. I mean, different variations of Wiccan and pagan beliefs.
Yeah.
Like the Norse gods and some of their stuff. When you die, you go to Valhalla. As long as you fought or didn't do anything dishonorable. Let's see. The Greeks and the Romans, because it's basically the same gods, just with different names. But theirs were, you die, you go to the underworld, which is where heaven and hell version 1.0 or 2.0, depending on how you look at it, is. Good. Bad. Okay, we have them separated. But then the Christians changed it to good, bad. It's like, no, the underworld is where we separate into good and bad. They're, whatever. Different argument, you freaking assholes trying to change all the rules. But, I mean, I've heard some stuff from, Catholics. About when the Pope dies, his spirit, blah, blah, becomes exalted. And you no longer need a mortal coil because you go straight to heaven. And certain things from, like, Baptists on, yes, but, and I can't remember the exact details. This stuff has all just become, like, mashed together because I've heard almost the exact same thing from 15 different religions. But most of it's the 15 different religions, which are the exact same, that call themselves Christianity, even though half of them aren't and half of them are.
Listen to some really psychedelic shit right now.
Well, I mean, it's the, when you get to heaven, you no longer need your physical body. Well, by then you're already dead and it's in the fucking ground. But if you're pure, or purer than the last asshole, you become resurrected. No, everybody gets resurrected. Even says so in a lot of the books, because the Quran, the Christian Bible, and some of the Judean Bible specifically say you will become resurrected. I mean, each one says it differently, and the Judean Bible is mostly what the Christians call the Old Testament. The only problem with the Christians' Old Testament compared to the Judean Old Testament and some of the Quran is the Quran and the Christian took out some of the books or just erased stuff from the original script, and no, that doesn't fit into our picture,
Yeah.
our box. But yet some of the ones that are in the Judean, which is basically the Old Testament, are still there. Like Adam had before Eve, I think it was 5. Well, I'll just say 5 to 8. I don't remember the exact number because you got Lilith is the big one that everybody knows because she was the first one who, instead of trying to talk Adam into eating the fruit, just went off and said, "Hell no, I'm gonna be independent and I want to know everything. So I'm gonna agree with Lucifer and I'm gonna do my thing." And the other ones were basically because they weren't made from him, they weren't subservient to him. But because Eve was made from him, from his rib, that God took out of Adam, she was subservient because she was essentially his daughter. Adam basically fucked his daughter to make his other kids to populate the earth. So no matter which way you look at it, everybody's an incest. Everybody's an incest. No matter what color, what creed, where the hell they come from, technically everybody's banging somebody's cousin. And no matter who you bang, it's a cousin. 30 cousins, 15 times removed, but I'm sorry, it's a cousin somewhere. Well, no, I mean, think about it, because we talked about this, I think it was 2 or 3 podcasts ago, about how Cain killed Abel, right? Then Cain got kicked out. But yet, it also says in the book, the King James Version that I knew or grew up with before they've changed it 15 million times, that he left the Adam and Eve family, but still found a wife.
Yeah.
And the other people that were living out there, and I said that was like the, what's the word I use? Big gorilla man with freaking thick eyebrows. Begins with an N.
N?
The name is not a Homo sapien.
Neanderthal.
Yeah, thank you, dude. It's like freaking 3:30 in the morning.
Oh, you're good. I was gonna say
I was gonna finish my statement, and then
I was gonna be like Harambe lives.
Yeah, but no, it's that thing. That's what he found, and that's why all of us have it, because it's all interbreeding. I don't care your color. I don't care your sex. I don't care whether you pick by the male, female. No, I'm not male nor female. Whatever.
Yeah.
You got a poker, or you got a hole to be poked. Those are the only classifications I give a shit about. You don't want your hole poked? Okay, that's your choice. That is yours. I have a poker. I need something to shove it in.
Well,
Who's willing to let me shove it in it? I mean, that's...
I have told your sister, hey, you want to play poker?
But I mean, that's the thing.
It
procreates. No matter which book you look at that people actually look at, the original rule was have sex, have a lot of kids, be a happy family. Well, we took out the be a happy family because it's just fucking have a lot of kids.
Yep.
And then bitch because you don't make enough money.
Yep.
That's the world we live in, and I hate it.
Yep. Make a lot of money, never have enough money.
For every dollar you make,
find
you
that
spend 2.
Try to find that happy family concept that's so elusive, and fuck a lot. That's the American dream. That's the American dream right there.
Well, that's also the funny part. Humans are the only animal who enjoy, more than the other animals do, procreation, but yet we do it in excess, but at the same time, we do it so much, and at the same time we're doing it and banging the shit out of each other, we're also trying not to make more of us. It's the human condition. It feels good, but I don't need another one, or I don't want one to begin with.
Yep. And that's the
human
thing.
Condition.
It's like, we've come out with birth control. We've come up with so many different ways and methods to not absolutely multiply the earth through procreation, and yet we love procreation.
Right.
Well, we love sex.
The action
the action of it, the side effects, the little tendrils of emotion and the little tendrils of pleasure. 50 Shades of pleasure.
Fuck you with your 50 Shades of government, bitch. Keep going back to that. Well, you got 50 Shades. Now.
No.
Am I gonna have to buy you all 3 films so that way you can just sit there with your wife and watch them just for shits and giggles?
It's an ongoing gag that I had to keep going throughout the entire cast.
Apparently he wants the muscle governor for Utah who's 50 Shades of... Don't talk about this shit in my 50 Shades of... Shut the fuck up.
Well, you were already talking about 50 Shades of Religion.
I talked about 50 Shades of everything. That's the issue.
50 Shades of
Sex,
Harambe.
drugs, procreation, raw cousin fuckers. And
50
then
Shades of
goes,
that too.
What the hell did you just say? Raw cousin fuckers. Ding, 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 ding. Welcome to Oklahoma, bitch. No, you're no longer the United States. This is the United Oklahoma.
United Harambe.
Everybody always says incest is like Texas, Oklahoma, Kentucky, and Kansas and shit. It's like 90% of those people aren't cousin fuckers. At least not on purpose. She's party. Dude, this is a family reunion. Oh, fuck. I forgot that's what this was. I thought we were just here to hang out and shoot pool. But, I mean, you always have that one dumbass. Every family's got at least one in every fucking generation. Every fucking 2 generations. If you're lucky, you have 3 every 1 generation. So that way you know which dumbass is not to let breed.
Yep.
It's bad when it looks like the smart one. It acts like the smart one. It gets straight A's. It's the idiot. Fuck, I wish we'd have known that before he started fucking party people. Shit, we're all screwed. Sorry, I'm going back and I'm just rolling with the joke.
50 Shades of that joking. Too.
50 Shades of Redneck. Ding, 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 ding. Shut up! This is my barn. Go get your own, mother earner. I can't believe I just said that.
Poker with those 50 Shades of greatness. Make 50 Shades great again.
The funny part was my wife introduced me to 50 Shades when the writer still had it on fanfic when it was a fanfiction. And I only got like maybe a couple chapters in before she got her book deal. Had to take it off fanfic and change it after those books. Oh, that's the bad part. Oh. So I know most of that story because I've been told about that story before it was edited, before it was changed to be safe for people to read.
Yep.
So when you say 50 Shades, oh, just shut up. I know too much about that. Oh, shit. It doesn't even go into how to do it properly. But that's also because they wouldn't let the writer put the shit that she's researched into the book.
Yeah.
Actually, in the public book, because no, that's too graphic. No, people, dude, if people knew that shit when they got into the BDSM lifestyle, there'd be less people like, he's abusing me. Bitch, you signed an agreement to this. That's like, that's not what the fuck she's saying. Y'all didn't do it right. Y'all just dumbasses watching 50 Shades of Grey think you know what the fuck beat the shit out of your wife and she's gonna enjoy this. You fuckers amateurs.
You know what?
Get your goddamn proper training, bitch. Go old school.
You know the title of this episode's gonna be
50 Shades of Assholes.
50 Shades of Madness. I've kept that like crazy thing going on, like insanity, madness. I've kept like
Okay,
going on for like a
on
while.
my YouTube channel, Crazy P's episode 4,
5.
and the little question marks, 50 Shades of Nuts.
Episode 5, 50 Shades of Nuts, 50 Shades of Madness.
No, I'll just leave 50 Shades of Nuts. Because if girls will be like, 50 Shades of... Wait, I gotta watch this. What the fuck is this? And they'll be like, that's not what the hell I thought it was.
So you're gonna go clickbaity.
Oh, fuck yeah, why not?
And then like have like on the fucking title, like on the cover photo, have like a picture of like you like starting to unbutton your pants, and then like you're just standing there, and then like there's
It'll
then,
be
like...
me with like a trim off all my fuzz for like a week, and like have the makeup show off all of my the six pack and whatnot, and be like, I'm watching that.
Yep.
Yes, you are. But what I signed up for, but I can't turn it off. You know those shows.
Yep.
It's kind of what we do, but
Yep.
And I forgot to freaking. Oh, that's fine. I'll have to fix that next week. I forgot to do. No. I forgot to do my Twitter and Facebook. Hey, I'm going live on Twitch again.
Oops.
Yeah, because we got like 1 or 2 viewers for the Ghost Hunters. that works just too fucking big. But let's get this one. I gotta pee. Oh, I gotta get.
Alright, so tune in next week to see more fun, crazy goodness. We'll have more to talk about, much more to talk about, much more to do, and we'll also play another thing with Phasmophobia by then. So we'll have a lot more stuff to, BS about. I'm Thomas Paxton.
I'm Tim Potter.
And that has been Crazy Peas. Halloween.